The total sentence would be for 13 years and 4 months.
So you just getting 13 years.
13 years and 4 months.
That's 3, 4, and 5 ago.
That's
How
right.
is this injustice?
It's justice because I gave you more opportunities. I'm talking right now. Oh, you don't, do you? Okay, there you go. So long, pal.
There's 15 rappers who committed the worst crimes you could ever imagine, just like Tory Lanez, who was sentenced to 10 years in prison for using a firearm against another rapper.
Meanwhile, musician Tory Lanez, convicted of rapper Megan Thee Stallion, sentenced to 10 years in prison. A judge in Los Angeles handing down that sentence today, culminating a case that filled gossip pages and polarized the music industry.
While some believe he didn't commit the crime, the feds believe he did, which is similar to how the feds believe Yungeen Ace and Ksoo took out Jacksonville rapper Julio Foolio.
Jacksonville rapper Yungeen Ace arrested by Jacksonville Beach police around midnight.
Hakeem Robinson has been arrested in the 2019 Adrian Gaynor.
Yeah, back behind.
The Jacksonville police released the never-before-seen Julio Foolio files revealing the involvement of Yungeen Ace and Ksoo in his passing. Investigators in Jacksonville are starting to hear rapper Ksoo played a role in the passing of Foolio. Being a main member of ATK, there's news of him adding money to the hit pool, a collection of money for bounties to deal with their ops. This raised a major flag in the court file because of the evidence from a gang member claiming there was a $10,000 bounty for Foolio.
Hey, on everything I love, bro. On the dead homies, bro, I put it on everything, on my soul, on my kids. I'm the one that smacked Julio Foolio that night when he got at his birthday celebration, bro. You feel me? I ain't gonna show my face and give my identity away or nothing like that, but you know, I did that, you feel me? It was money on his head, you feel me? I rock with Ace and them boys, you feel me? ATK, you feel me? I be in Jacksonville heavy, you feel me? If you know, you know. But yeah, you feel me? I did that, you feel me? I handled that, cause you know, Ace had that money on his head, you know, Ace had him put that 10K up, told me to slide, told me to cause you know, he got tired of that nigga running his mouth playing all the time, you feel me? So what had to be done, you feel what I'm saying? So I just handled it, you feel me? It was what it is, bro.
Yungeen Ace and Ksoo have been close friends and strong affiliates from Jacksonville's ATK group. Ksoo is one of Yungeen Ace's most loyal members from the ATK beef against Julio Foolio's crew. However, he's currently serving a life sentence on a separate charge because he was caught for the passing of Adrian Gaynor, otherwise known as Bibby, who was like a little brother to Foolio.
Every day after school, he'll come to me, like he coming straight to me, we chopping it up, we speaking like, you know, just regular shit. They walk in the house, we dap each other. I'm like, what's up, little bro? What you been on? Like, he telling me I went to school with, bro. And guess what school he was going to? I'm like, little bro, I love you, bro. Be safe, you know? And that's how it always ends. Like, with so many people with me, like, they last word with me be, I love you, be safe. You know what I'm saying?
When Foolio heard that Ksoo was the one arrested for the passing of Bibby, he reacted in a certain way.
There was a rapper named Ksoo.
Yeah.
Who basically was posting videos bragging about, you know, different KTA members, or I mean, whatever you want to call it, and he's talking about f***ing Bibby.
Yeah.
And he actually got arrested for a Bibby.
Yeah.
For the life of me, I don't know why you would commit a murder and then go on the internet and brag about it. It just makes absolutely no sense.
But in the present day, with the Foolio trial ongoing, Ksoo just pled guilty to the passing of Bibby.
Jacksonville rapper Hakeem Robinson, also known as Ksoo, pleaded guilty to the of Adrian Gaynor Jr., who many people knew as Lil Baby. That guilty plea came during a pre-trial hearing Monday, and the judge sentenced him to 10 years in prison for second-degree murder.
The crime and rivalry down in Jacksonville was serious, and it looks like Yungeen Ace and Ksoo wanted to get rid of anyone who rocked with Julio. This got a viral reply to read, "Am I the only one who thinks Ksoo and Yungeen Ace wanted Foolio gone as soon as possible before Foolio got the chance to retaliate for what they did to his lil bro?" As the Jacksonville police believe the same thing after the sheriff sent a public warning to Yungeen Ace and his crew after Julio's hitters were arrested.
So Yungeen Ace has long been known in Jacksonville. We are consistently monitoring those groups. We have people that are always watching them. I won't speak to the chief's investigation. That's up to TPD. We don't have an investigation on him right now, but he can't move around in Jacksonville without us knowing about it. And that's for the betterment of our community.
But when you combine everything between Ace and Ksoo, you begin to get the full picture. To know just how deep the rivalry is, Yungeen Ace's mother laughed when Julio was taken out after she went on Ace's live stream.
These are my best friend.
Hey, chat, y'all know what's going on though. Y'all stop playing with us, Talib. You ain't for the churches, but you know what the fuck going on, boy, for get on your boy.
And we want to get that down. Foolio, Ludio, whatever shit.
Cheers.
But this led to the announcement, Yungeen Ace to be arrested in 2026. The sheriff announced several crimes in the area is due to Yungeen Ace and his team ATK, expect a RICO. Ace is worried he will be dragged into the passing of Julio Fulio because the news just revealed from trial. Witness who partied with Fulio the night of his passing reveals she dated Yungeen Ace's brother, Trevon Bullard. Fans believe testimony during Alicia Andrews' trial will lead to an ATK RICO.
Some point when you were younger, did you date someone who was associated with a rapper by the name of Yungeen Ace?
Yeah.
What is Yungeen Ace's real name?
Keontae.
Is that Keontae Bullard?
Mm-hmm.
And who were you dating that was related to Mr. Bullard?
Trayvon.
How is Trayvon Bullard related to Keontae Bullard?
They're brothers.
When did you date him?
In 2018.
And did something happen to him?
Yeah, he passed away.
When did he pass away?
June 5th, 2018.
And how did he pass away?
He got...
Was that a part of this rival?
I'm assuming.
But they flat out mentioned Ace in the courtroom when they revealed that he had texted members who did the crime to Fulio within hours of it happening, as he sent a picture of a bottle of Julio, which is meant to mock Julio Fulio, which proves that not only did he know that Julio passed within a couple hours of the crime, but he was almost congratulating the suspects on taking him out.
The state presented a picture from Gathrigh's cell phone taken one day after the showing a bottle of Don Julio. The detective testified that, based on knowledge, this represents an insult to the rapper Julio Fulio.
Yungeen Ace then started panicking and tweeted out, "Ain't no such thing as ATK no more. That stuff is gone and over with," as he was scared of RICO charges coming his way, so he shut down the team.
I say no more ATK, it ain't no more. What you talking about? Niggas don't do shit. Niggas don't do shit. You tripping. Everybody always got shit to say. These niggas. When the time for the Lord to be paid, niggas be at. Got all this shit to say. Where the niggas be at though? Niggas need to get buried. When the time to spend that money, where the niggas be? They always got shit to say, but don't be on shit, man. They don't get no feet wet or nothing, man. Niggas be talking, man. What's wrong with these, man? Talking about don't talk like me. Don't get them, man. When I say no more ATK, ain't no more.
But in court, they got it admitted that Yungeen Ace is in ATK in the courtroom.
So sorry, not the meaning of ATK, but that Yungeen Ace is a part of ATK. Did you say whether you know that?
Yeah.
Okay. ATK and 6 Block, do those two groups get along?
No.
Charles Jones, just for the jury, is a part of 6 Block, is that correct?
Yeah.
And Yungeen Ace is a part of ATK, is that correct?
Yeah.
And to your knowledge, Alicia Andrews is not a part of either of those groups, correct?
I don't know her.
All right.
Miss Albritton, going back to these drill rap videos, in particular the song of Charles Jones about your boyfriend, is that When I See You? Is that the song that you're talking about?
I guess, yeah.
And that's one of the music or drill rap videos that you don't like, is that correct?
I don't care for them.
Because of this, it was announced Yungeen Ace has now canceled all his tour dates that were scheduled to take place this month. This could mean Yungeen Ace is preparing for the feds, or that the feds are limiting his business income ahead of a court case. This way, Ace may not be able to afford strong lawyers.
Jacksonville police and I don't know how they be doing this, but they always call around and cancel my shows. What's up with y'all? What's going on? Why y'all want to cancel my show? I don't even live there in Jacksonville. Why y'all want to cancel my show? Why y'all trying to my money? Yeah, man, y'all trying to my life. Cause y'all worry about what I got going on. I ain't f***ing with y'all. Y'all canceled all my shows, but I just had a show in Temple. Y'all got my show canceled in Tampa. I had a show in Virginia. I called, got my show canceled up. I had a show in Gainesville. Y'all canceled my show in Gainesville before. Daytona. You feel me? Like, what's really going on?
Although academics asked Yungeen Ace on a podcast if he did the crime to Julio, and he couldn't hold back his laugh.
I mean, some people feel like you were behind that.
I'm sure, but people feel like I'm behind a lot. But I'm not. I'm not behind. I'm working. I'm grinding every day. I'm grinding. I got a family. I'm working. I'm grinding. I'm trying to be big. I'm trying to be big.
But the police do believe that Ace is involved one way or another and are actively searching on how to connect him to the past.
Furthermore, it was found that the shooters are members of or affiliated with rival gangs of Jones that go by ATK and 1200. Jones was part of the 6 block. Detectives believe that the ATK and the 1200 worked together to target Jones as part of an ongoing feud in Jacksonville.
However, the feds would recap the entire weekend that led to Julio's passing, as it's important to note on the record how it went down. They started by saying on June 22nd, 2024, Julio was hosting a birthday party celebration in Tampa, but was ambushed early Sunday morning. It went as bad as it possibly could have for Julio, and it all began when he invited everybody to go to the party.
Hey, the pool party start today at 5, 6 o'clock. If you already got the address, pull up, man. You got the address, pull up. If you need the address, DM me right now. The pool party start at 5, 6 o'clock. DM me for the address or DM Julio booking ESPN. I'm gonna put it right here. We just got here, bruh. You got to add it. You got to add it, man. Push up. We just got to this bit. Tampa, Florida, man. You already got to add it to the pool party. Push up at 5:30, man. Push up at 5:30, man. We finna get everything right. Push up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, man. It's up.
But the night took a swing when Julio's party only lasted 2 hours after neighbors called the police and then called the landlord of the home, who kicked them out of the crib. Rather than putting the night to an end, he wanted to keep the party going, so he went to a nearby club. However, rather than just bringing the people who were already at the party, he posted the club's poster on Instagram for everyone to see, which leaked the address of the club he was going to. Over the 24-hour span before his passing, Julio continued posting his location online for an unknown reason. Typically, rappers don't do this for safety reasons, but Julio didn't care this night, and he recorded himself going to the upstairs lounge.
We came deep for my birthday, man. Everybody coming up the stairs. No cap, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We deep as 20 deep, lit everywhere we go.
Just off a simple Google search, Julio's ops were able to find the exact building and the exact room he was partying in. They knew he wouldn't be 100% ready for anything after partying all night, so they had 2 members scope out the club waiting for him to leave. Once he was done for the night, they had to find a new place to sleep for the night. His manager quickly found a Holiday Inn hotel down the road, and they began walking over. Once they arrived, they wait in the parking lot while his manager books and pays for the room. But while relaxing outside, 2 cars pull up on them. One blocks the exit, while the other had 3 men come out from the side parking lot with the main goal of taking out Julio.
At 4:38, 3 exit a vehicle and walked in the direction of the hotel. They murdered Jones with a handgun and 2. This barrage of fire also struck 3 additional victims who miraculously survived this incident. Let's look at this video. This is at the hotel, and you can see the shooters are getting in position for their planned out.
We heard from Julio's cousin what went down in the moments they were pulled up on. Julio's cousin, who was in the car with him when it happened, couldn't stop his tears while describing his final moments.
Okay. So you fell asleep after that, after he came back to the car, or you started dozing?
Yes.
Can you just tell the jurors what you saw inside of the car at that point? You said you saw Julio laid out.
Yeah, first thing I saw Julio laid out. I thought it was a car accident until I looked up, saw the booze, and I saw Jacob yelling.
Okay, so you thought it was a car accident, and then you looked up, saw the holes, and you saw Zay. Is that Xavier Edwards?
Yes.
You saw him covered in.
Yes.
Okay, so he wanted you to look at his head because he thought he had been hit, and then when you tried to do that, you saw this in your arm.
Yes.
Where were you?
Like on my.
Okay.
Close to my school.
Do you still have a scar from that? Okay. Do you recognize that as Charles Jones' black Charger?
Yes.
Okay. You okay?
I'm good.
You sure?
Yes.
Do you recognize the photograph?
Yes.
However, Ace didn't hold back on showing who was behind the crime. Within a couple hours of Julio being taken out, Ace posted a new diss track against Julio. Yungeen Ace's right-hand man also shared on his Instagram an old tweet from King Von reading, "Game over, we won, stupid." But to further prove this was about Fulio, Ace remixed Fulio's lyrics from another song. As Fulio originally rapped, "Went out to eat on his birthday. 4 hit, 3 passed in the worst way. He kept dissing on me. Now we hitting 23. Ace changed the lyrics to read 4 in the car and 1 of them gone. 3 got hit. But Ace wasn't done yet, as the news wrote. Fulio's mom says she was targeted 8 times and allegedly named Yungeen Ace as the culprit.
So now she's a mother. She's not involved. She was a nurse or whatever the case is. This is what I hear. She got 8 times. The police showed up and asked her, "Hey, ma'am, who shot you?" Guess who she allegedly said shot her? Allegedly, she said, "I got shot by Yungeen Ace." Yungeen Ace was on some type of supervised release at the time. Police go, I guess his probation officer say, "Yo, you got to come in now," and they're about to lock up Yungeen Ace for shooting Fulio's mom.
But this leaves the question as to why Julio was so careless about dropping his location on his birthday weekend. Well, it turns out that Julio might have been convinced by ATK that they wanted to settle the beef, and he decided he didn't need to be secretive with what he was doing anymore. As according to Julio's own words, they were going to make a collab song together to put an end to the crime.
No record. Y'all probably didn't know this. Even though I said what I said, bro. Me and J.Dot Breeze supposed to be doing a Stop the Violence song. We probably gonna get that shit in motion. And just get that shit out the way for the kids, for the youth and shit. And yeah, we gotta make this look better, man.
You and J.Dot Breezy have a Stop the Violence record coming.
Yeah, that shit, it's talked about. I DM'd about it. My big cousin wrote him about it too. He said he with it, I'm with it. But basically right now we trying to find a beat.
However, this was Yungeen Ace and ATK's plans to catch Julio when he least expected it. Although the feds believe this was a retaliation for the passing of ATK Mitch in 2022. Weirdly enough, Julio was actually pulled over and questioned about the passing of Mitch, but he was never caught.
All right, so I didn't want to bring it up. I know you're gonna be upset. Mitch, there's some detectives I want to talk to you real quick about what happened to Mitch.
How long that's gonna take?
Not that long, depends on you. They just gonna ask what you know about what happened.
After being in the police cruiser, they took him to the station for further questioning.
I used to come to my mama's house. I used to stay on the corner. You used to come over there, show his, you know what I'm saying, support.
What type of work do you do? What type of
artist?
You're an artist. Yeah. Okay. As far as Mitch go, what are you hearing?
Nah, really, I was in Miami when I heard the news. You know what I'm saying? I was down making music, and I saw posting on Instagram, Mitch. Everybody, the whole Jacksonville, Mitch.
The detectives had no evidence to suggest Julio was responsible for the crime, and he knew it, so he didn't tell the feds anything.
All right, the reason why I'm here, I am lead on your friend's case.
Ooh.
You ain't have a friend who recently got killed?
A lot of friends that
recently. Mitch.
Oh yeah.
So I'm lead on that. I don't know how close you guys were. Can you kind of give me just run down on y'all relationship when y'all met? How long y'all been partners or whatever?
This is what really angered ATK members. Not only did their friend Mitch pass, but Julio continued to lie with the investigators, saying he had nothing to do with it. Once they found out Julio had been let off without the feds catching on, they knew they had to do something in return.
Guys, if you may know or hear something, that'd be helpful as well. Because if you know his mom, you can sit up there and call his mom, then I'm pretty sure you would want her to have some answers as well.
My little brother, I don't know who did. I don't know. I ain't here. That's what I'm saying. You would never know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just heard it. They say, little brother, I was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm in Miami at the time, though.
You ain't tired of that, man?
Yeah, but I'm none of this.
The detectives were defeated after they couldn't get Julio to admit to anything, so they asked Julio if he thought his music was some of the reason why so many passings happen around him.
Do you think that your music or your ways or the way you conduct yourself through your music had anything to do with him?
Nah, cause even before I was rapping, it was, you know, you get what I'm saying? Like, you can't just say it's my music, that's why somebody, you get what I'm saying?
Okay, do you think it influenced someone or triggered someone, like the way y'all going back and forth with this? Do you feel that way?
Nah, a song can't make no do nothing, bro.
But to top it all off, Yungeen Ace went on Instagram Live again and tried to be genuinely sorry for Julio's passing. But you can tell he ain't taking it serious.
What you think about Julio dying, cuz? That's sad, twin. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Y'all boys in the street, y'all didn't leave the streets alone, twin. All condone is that. But y'all just gotta stay. Y'all gotta. It's so funny, cause me, bro, like we cool, like we was cool and shit. You feel me? Me and him, like we cool. I was just so funny. I was just talking to them. I'm like, bro, you gotta stop the way, bro. You know, love y'all here. Like, stop the way, real shit. Like, you know, I f with your real shit. Stop the way.
However, Tay-K committed one of the worst crimes you could think of while trying to steal a camera.
You're young, but you're gonna have to make better choices. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm gonna sentence him to 80 years in the prison, give him credit for any time served.
Meanwhile, the feds found new evidence against Snoop Dogg being involved in the passing of Tupac.
They went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them. I say a week before he died, we was best of friends. 2 days before he died, I don't think he liked me.
The Las Vegas police finally released the never-before-seen Tupac files, revealing who took his life and those involved. One of the detectives wrote, Detective Russell Poole suspected that Knight arranged Tupac's passing before he could exit the label, then framed the rival Crips to throw off investigators, making their first lead in the crime being Suge Knight until they fully investigated the most famous Crip in the entire world, Snoop Dogg, to which they found very odd behavior. They noted in the files an interview where Snoop Dogg revealed he was supposed to be in the BMW with Tupac on the night he passed.
With Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac, I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So.
Saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
This was likely because they got into a heated argument with each other, as Snoop said here.
The last time me and Tupac was on the same page, and I did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she asked me how did I feel about Puffy and Biggie, and I told her that I like their music and I want to do music with them. Bro didn't like that, Tupac didn't like that, so we had a misunderstanding. So on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did, as far as I didn't let my security ride with me. So to protect myself and to, prevent from happening, I slept under a blanket with the knife and the fork just in case something was to go wrong, but it didn't.
Suge and Diddy did a great job at framing Snoop because a fan's reaction wrote, is anyone going to mention how Snoop Dogg could have stopped Tupac from passing? These new files coming out is upsetting, knowing Tupac should still be alive, which came with a reaction from Faison Love.
I always felt when Pac died, it was because Snoop could have stopped that whole thing. I mean, because like I said, Snoop was a Crip. Pac offended some Crips. Doing some game, some dumb, really. It was set off a whole chain of events. You know, in LA don't get mad, they get even. So, you want a real Pac story? That's my Pac story. Pac would be alive today if he had stayed allies with Snoop and not cross Snoop.
But you have to remember that Snoop was a lot more involved in the street life in the 90s, which is what makes many people believe that Snoop heard they were targeting Tupac and that's why he avoided him. But Snoop kept the same story that Tupac hated him a couple days before he passed.
I say a week before he died, we was best of friends. 2 days before he died, I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York, and it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of. And I forgave them. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I want to do some music with them. And that just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like trying to kill me, out at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with them. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked his music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out.
However, when you investigate further in the new Tupac files, you learn the truth. Even fan reactions read, "The new Tupac files are making me question everything. Why is there evidence of Snoop knowing Tupac was going to be targeted, Suge Knight wanting Tupac gone so he couldn't leave his record label, and Diddy paying for the hit? He needed new friends." Even Tupac's father said something similar. Tupac's biological father says if he would have been a better father, Tupac would still be alive today because he would have never trusted Suge Knight, but because he wasn't there, he looked at Suge like a father figure. Suge stole all of his money.
With Suge Knight. Right. This motherfucker, I feel so bad. I gotta live the rest of my life realizing that maybe if I was a better father, he might not have gotten in that situation. He might have had enough wisdom to know that this motherfucker is nothing but a scoundrel. But he looked up to him like a father. Then to find out a year, 8 months later, that he's cheating him out of all of his money, that's the final betrayal.
But this led into one of the reasons why Diddy and Suge would have taken out Tupac, and one of the reasons is because of Diddy's jealousy. Because on November 18th, 1995, Tupac was photographed with Sarah Chapman, who later became Diddy's baby mama. Diddy's been heard over the years saying how she is his dream girl, as this led to the first attempt on Tupac that he spoke about after he recovered.
I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen, or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody. I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in their vision. I only got shot once because they found the book. The police found it, but now they the cops. Now they doing detective work.
With this attempt failing, he tried again in Las Vegas, which was the time that was successful. Former cop claims Diddy had Tupac dealt with for $1 million Suge retaliated, having Biggie dealt with. As documents reveal, Diddy hired Crip member Keefe D to organize Tupac's passing. Keefe D surprisingly remained free for a long time, but after 20 years, he was brought in by the feds on a separate charge. However, he took a deal to speak about the Tupac passing in order for the charge to get dropped, as Keefe D admitted it was Diddy who was the lead behind the crime.
On all 4 of those occasions, there's San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
Every one.
Every one of them. Which of those 4 is it when you talk to him about Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
The news wrote, the reinvestigation of Tupac's passing is revealing new names and evidence of those involved. New name brought up is Suge Knight. The main reason people are so suspicious about Suge is because Tupac was apparently going to leave his record label. So in order to stop it, he wanted Tupac taken out. But many also question why Suge didn't hire security for Tupac.
First of all, you've seen what happened. Suge understands who he's dealing with, or what that just happened with, right? Yeah. I would have off the top shut my artist down. And if I would have shut him down, I would have moved him in a way to where could nobody get to him. Suge, you know what you doing, though, dude. Like, it ain't no security on him.
But what makes Suge's story even weirder is that he claims Tupac never actually passed, as he said, "When I left that hospital, me and Tupac was laughing and joking. I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad."
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
But this doesn't make sense because the police said Tupac was in a very deep sleep, so he wouldn't have been able to talk to Suge. However, 50 Cent revealed he is going to release even more secrets about Diddy when it was reported. 50 Cent says it's not over. More unreleased Diddy footage that didn't make the Netflix documentary is coming to YouTube, including footage about how Diddy started a family with Tupac's ex-girlfriend. Diddy has a daughter named Chance Combs with Sarah Chapman in 2006, who famously dated Tupac in 1995, revealing Diddy literally wanted to be what Tupac was.
Tupac was a shining example of everything that Diddy wanted to be, and he was that naturally. He was charismatic, he was sought after, desired, he was very well liked and a naturally likable person. He was charming, he actually had intrinsic talent, he was a star. He was what Diddy tried to force his way into becoming. Diddy, through force, through manipulation, through fear-mongering, tried to become loved and adored and liked, but all he could manage is like a twisted clone of that he was able to garner through fear. But back to my original point, he thought he triumphed over Tupac by when actually what he did was make Tupac immortal. And by Diddy continuing to live and earn more wealth and, in his mind, earn more adoration, he thought he triumphed. He thought he won overall.
With word getting out about Diddy possibly being responsible, he was asked about it in an interview and it got really awkward.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Which led to him further getting questioned about his involvement, saying Diddy faces questions about his alleged role in Tupac's passing after being mentioned 77 times in a new legal filing. As Keefe D, the hired hitman of the crime, said everything was Diddy's wish and that it was easier than he thought, which makes sense because the person who researched Tupac's life said he didn't know how to defend himself or use a firearm.
Because he died because all these guys sold him this lifestyle idea, but he wasn't it. He couldn't fight. He had no athleticism. He didn't know how to shoot. He wasn't that guy, but he started to believe it.
He method acted it.
100% method acted it.
But to give the full story on how Tupac's passing happened, they broke down the day he was targeted. On September 7th, 1996, Tupac was in Vegas with Suge Knight. They watched a Mike Tyson match, but once it was over, Tupac got into a brawl.
Suge Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Keefe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and two of their friends were also there. Keefe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
After leaving the match, Tupac went to his hotel to change his clothes and they wanted to head back out to the club for the night. Unfortunately, as they got into the car, Keefe D's crew pulled up on him.
Knew about Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keefe D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh.
Keefe D even admitted it on an interview about how they pulled up on Tupac.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
Got to the light. We was gonna go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He's hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
He even explained it happened so fast because Tupac started reaching for his firearm when he passed away.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a...
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually...
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
started
at Tupac and Suge.
Although the situation with Keefe D gets more interesting when you realize that he was questioned about Tupac's passing back when it first happened, but he was never arrested.
Lane starts. You say Suge looks over, he sees you.
Yeah.
He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looks at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out of the
back seat or something.
Yeah, what do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre?
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window.
During the police's investigation, they also found Keefe D's reaction to Tupac's passing, which shows his true emotions.
Yeah, I hate that happened, dog. I really do, man. Cause it took a lot of people's lives, dude. Hate that happen. Probably to God. I feel that was wrong, man. It was just purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it had never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. It never happened, dude.
But the Tupac files get really weird if you believe Suge Knight in saying he was recovering well in the hospital, because a former officer revealed how Tupac was an industry plant with the job of stopping the street beef.
Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, you know, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be a in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes. And that was part of his thug life agenda that he came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Mutulu Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the and the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this gangster type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
But with him not ending the beef between the red and blue teams, he'd suddenly pass. What if the people who were responsible for making Tupac an industry plant decided it got too dangerous for him, so they pulled him out of the streets? Even one of Tupac's close friends named Tretch had a weird encounter with an interviewer in 2010. As the camera pointed to the floor and he asked him when he last saw Tupac, where Tretch responds saying he last saw him in Cuba.
So if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
One last question.
Nobody knows.
Y'all good? Yeah, we good. Thanks a lot, man.
We good. Last time I saw me was in church.
3 weeks later, a video released from a news website showing a video of Tupac chilling in a parking lot in Cuba.
Zoom in. That's Pac, man. He with the outlaw. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
This is what made the Tupac is alive in Cuba theory. And to even prove that Suge Knight stuck by his story that Tupac is alive, he said it again in another interview years apart.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They left.
But 2 weeks after he talked about Tupac again, he was targeted in a club where a guy used a firearm in his direction 6 times. This got Suge to stop talking about Tupac, but many years later, his son began talking about Tupac again. As his son said on Instagram that Tupac was still alive and living in Malaysia, but he got a message warning him to stop, which said, "You said too much, time for you to go." But this set off his son to post pictures of Tupac with modern celebrities like 50 Cent and Beyonce, as Tupac should have never been able to meet celebrities like this. He even captioned the post, "He never left us. They'll be after me soon." Some people believe that Suge's son is lying and making stuff up for attention, but others believe him and his father would know most considering how close he was to Tupac. However, one of the biggest rappers facing a trial soon is Lil Durk, who allegedly committed several serious crimes.
We want to begin now with some breaking news. Rapper Lil Durk is charged in a for hire plot.
A massive update was announced in the Durk case, resulting in DJ Vlad tweeting, "Lil Durk has a real chance at beating his case. Remember this tweet," which is a result of the feds panicking on what they even want to charge Lil Durk with.
Fact of the matter is, his trial team has won a number of points in this case. Some of the evidence that they wanted to use has actually been withdrawn so that the judge didn't have to exclude it. When they bought this case, they said the conspiracy started in August 2022. That's when Durk arranged to get these rentals, these flights. That's when he made arrangements for the bounty. Then they switched that and they said, actually, the conspiracy started back when Von November 2020. And here's the big one. When they charged Durk, they said in the indictment about the bounty that at the direction of defendant Durk Banks, defendant Wilson, that's OTF Didi, would pay the bounty or monetary reward to the That's gone.
But this is where it gets interesting and why Lil Durk is in favor of winning this case now. They just added a fallback charge. In the court system, this is known as a Hail Mary, a last hope for feds to lock up someone.
Also added a fallback charge. So when they bought the case, the original indictment, there was no stalking charge. In the second superseding indictment against Durk, they added a stalking charge. And the stalking charge is important because it doesn't require any contract. No quid pro quo, no bounty, no payment theory. You can add that charge and simply prove that, hey, he was telling people to go do this. He didn't necessarily pay them to go do but he was telling them to go follow that guy. He was telling them to go stalk that guy. And a jury can look at it and say, a lot like in the Diddy case, that, hey, not exactly sure here. Very, very, very suspicious individual over here, I'm gonna go ahead and hit him with the lesser charge. And so, you know, when the government puts in that fallback charge later in the case, that tells you that they're not 100% sure.
With the prosecutors panicking, they delayed Durk's trial, further opening up a house arrest release date, and let me explain. The News wrote today, Chicago rapper Durk's M for Hire trial was moved to Tuesday, August 25th, 2026 at a hearing today. 3 of Durk's co-defendants in the King Von revenge case have filed a motion to sever their cases from his trial, which is a massive win for Lil Durk. However, the reasoning for its delay is concerning. The News wrote, DJ Academics reveals that one of Lil Durk's alleged members confessed to a cellmate who was reportedly an undercover informant that Durk paid him to retaliate for D Thang, who passed.
He gets locked up in a cell and they give him a cellmate. He tells his cellmate who he murdered, how he murdered him, the homie he did the murder with, and who was supposed to pay him for the murder. Thank you. Come again. Perfect. Got him. So he confessed, essentially. He's talking to a cellmate. Listen to how he's talking to his cellmate, chat. Yeah, I had the standard, folk. With a 60 round in that on mic. I let 3 shots out when he first came out. Marley said, yo, wait till he get to the car. I said, yo, tweaking, boy. By the time he get to the car, that's enough time for him to get his pipe. Yo, so now the cellmate, who's a confidential source, is saying, tell me more.
Making investigators believe the feds are delaying the M for Hire trial for the possibility of adding another M charge against Durk. This is also one reason Durk has started losing trust in his own crew, because the final part of the news report reads, 3 of Durk's co-defendants in the King Von revenge case have filed a motion to sever their cases from his trial. Shows that Lil Durk will now face trial by himself instead of standing trial with the other members. This could actually benefit Durk because the prosecutors won't be able to paint him in a bad light to the jury just for being around known gang members.
And that's what Diddy did. He's basically saying all this evidence y'all got against Durk got nothing to do with me. Why you got me charged with Durk? And that doesn't mean he's going against Durk. That just means he wants his case severed. And I'm telling you, if it's severed, it helps Durk. Because one of the main connective tissue to this conspiracy is saying that Durk told Diddy to hire. Diddy's saying, I ain't get told to hire nobody. And I ain't hiring nobody. What are you talking about? Why would I hire someone? That's his thing.
But with the trial delayed to August, it gives Durk a chance to be released on bond. At the end of Durk's court hearing today, the Chicago rapper's lawyers submitted paperwork for a house arrest agreement. The rapper's even offering to pay an officer's salary to ensure he stays inside his home at all times and monitors his activities. But the prosecutors weren't letting this slide, so they got the judge to agree to allow footage of King Von's passing in the trial, as they will use the footage to further prove Durk had clear motive to go after Quando Rondo's crew.
Testimony and video surveillance surrounding the death of King Von, and the motion to exclude this evidence was denied, meaning the judge is going to allow witnesses to testify about and allow the video of King Von to be played at the trial. And this is important because prosecutors wanted to use this evidence to argue that King Von is the reason or motive as to why Durk offered this bounty on Quando Rondo. And so with this ruling, the jury will get to see and hear about all of that.
As the judge allowed it into the case after they said the footage is what pushed Durk to get revenge and how many of their ops were celebrating it online.
When you looked at King Von getting, how did you feel, considering the animosity between you guys up to that point?
Like my real first thought, I was happy.
You're happy?
I was happy.
When you heard that, considering the back and forth that y'all have had in your own ways, how did you feel?
So I kind of happy.
You were happy?
Can I say I was kind of happy? No, seriously, I was though. It was up. That, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, he did. But I was happy as when I found out Von was dead. I cooked for the whole day. For all the people I
However, the second reason they plan to show King Von's passing is because the judge just allowed certain lyrics to be used against Lil Durk. The lyrics, quote, "They be on my page like slide for Von, I know they trolling me, got it back in y'all just don't know, that's how it's supposed to be," which prosecutors will link to the interview Lil Durk did with DJ Academics, where he talks about the slide for Von comments himself.
What are you talking about? By the slide for Von comments. I don't know if people still say it. They used to say it, but you also mentioned a song. They'd be like, They be saying Slide for Von. I think they trolling me. Yo, by the way, them songs is fire. I ain't gonna lie. For some reason, I just don't see the comments no more. For some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water.
Durk bringing it up during that interview gives the prosecutors more leverage since it shows he knew about the Slide for Von comments. But the next lyrics have him rapping, "Don't respond to things with Von, I'm like screw it, you're tripping, go get your stick, they dropping locations, I'm getting it done, F tweeting, we're sliding, the feds are coming," which shows how eager Durk was to get this done.
Right now the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles and cameras captured the aftermath.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
While many people say lyrics can't be used against someone in court, they actually can. And when they do, it's a big problem. But Durk's lawyers tried to argue back that Durk isn't getting treated fair because he's been in harsh living conditions in jail. Durk's legal team filed a request for a status hearing regarding Durk being detained in a special housing unit without due process since August 29, 2025. Lil Durk is confined to a very small jail cell, just large enough for a single bed, a toilet, and a sink for 23 hours a day. He does not have access to commissary. He is permitted 1 phone call a month and no in-person visits. He was originally placed in a housing unit as punishment for being in possession of an Apple Watch. However, Durk's attorneys claim that the infraction has still not been reviewed by the unit discipline committee to determine proper disciplinary action, which would normally happen within 5 working days, which led to inmates from Durk's cell block saying how he was thrown in the hole.
They got Lil Durk in a hole for basically some BS, and right now we're gonna show the paperwork. They saying that he was caught with a cell phone, and basically that's not true. They trying to keep him in a hole, do a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing or whatever, but they trying to make a point because they saying that me and him is privileged and we got so many things going on, and it's a lot of BS.
But Durk's team also posted on his Instagram story saying, "Crazy how you gotta wait until it's dark out to see who really with you," because almost no one has been supporting Durk for the last year he's been in jail. Even academics said how rappers distanced themselves from Durk.
I wouldn't be surprised if some of the went on tour with, did songs with, called you they brother, they twin. I wouldn't be surprised if these rappers try to f India, man. These are down low and dirty. And I think this is what, I think Durk right now is thinking that, man, I thought I was just with a whole bunch of real. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. And I feel bad for Durk. When King Slime got locked up, there was a whole parade. Free him! Free him! Free him! Oh, nah. Everybody would post details of the case. How is this humane? How could they do this? Yo, free not smart. No, free Slime. Durk got locked up. They might give that half a bar. Free Smirk. And they moved the. I'll give credit. I have heard some of these guys have sent lawyers. Good for that. But Smirk is in there, man, realizing the world don't stop spinning because you locked up.
Academics even thinks that Durk is so messed up from everyone leaving his side that even if he does get out, he's gonna be cold to everyone.
Let me tell y'all, the Durk y'all loved when he was free, if he gets back out again, he'll never be that Durk. I'm gonna tell you why. He done learned a lot of lessons. This is me assuming, nothing he's told me. But the things that he did for others, y'all know when he came on my podcast, right? And he said, man, yo, Gunna's a snitch, I can't f Gunna. Man, f that. I don't care, I love Thug. He said that because Thug told him. Yo, what Durk is realizing, Durk is a great soldier, but nobody looked at him like a leader. Durk was willing to move on behalf of the people he's loyal to when they get locked up. When he locked up, they might drop him as a bar in a song, but
after this started going viral online, the prosecutors noticed what Durk's lawyers were trying to do. So they brought up Durk having a selfie with $1 million in cash back in 2022. This was just months before Quando's team was targeted, and the prosecutors claimed this was the bounty he placed on them. Prosecutors say Lil Durk placed a $1 million bounty on Quando Rondo in 2022. The discovery also shows that defendant Banks used his trusted lieutenants to recruit hitmen to fly to Southern California on August 18, 2022 to get Quando Rondo. Consistent with defendant Banks' promise promised to reward co-conspirators, defendant Wilson solicited hitmen by promising to pay a $1 million reward on behalf of defendant Banks in exchange for flying to Los Angeles to commit the crime, as the files continued writing how they were rewarded with other things than just money also, like some getting music video features and lyrics. One example of this is Durk doing the song Block is Hot as a reward. However, prosecutors also revealed something even more serious. The news wrote, Lil Durk's trial prosecutors say they have several cooperating witnesses who will testify that he was the real organizer of the passings. This got Durk to begin stressing because he's worried about what will happen to him. As the news wrote, people at Lil Durk's hearing today said he looked noticeably thinner and that he cut his dreads. In the same hearing, the judge also denied many motions to dismiss the case, but they took a bill of particulars under advisement, which means the prosecutors have to give up certain evidence to Durk's lawyers. But with the dismissal motions being denied, this means Durk will have to go to trial.
I'm a criminal lawyer, and I just learned that the rap artist Lil Durk just had his motion to dismiss his for hire case denied. To be honest, I'm not that surprised. Let me tell you guys something. There's only two ways that Lil Durk is rocking out of that federal courtroom on 2 feet. A jury of 12 people says that he is not guilty, or President Trump pardons him. There's no other way that Durk is walking out of that court free. That judge is not going to be dismissing any key evidence. He's not going to be dismissing any motions. He's not going to do anything that significantly helps Lil Durk walk out of that courtroom without having a trial. Now, how and why am I so sure of this? Well, here's the first thing I want to tell you. Most federal judges used to be federal prosecutors, exact prosecutors that are prosecuting Durk. A lot of judges used to stand in that very position. Federal prosecutors can be very biased people, and very rarely, once they put on that black robe and become a judge, do they get rid of those biases, okay? That judge very likely probably thinks that Durk is guilty. He just can't be the one to actually say it.
As this is pretty concerning for Lil Durk, and many creators reacted to what's happening with Durk.
Remo, this is my last no jumper. Durk Tory told me I wasn't supposed to come back up here with that last.
Now look what happened to him.
That man got kids. You talking about look what happened to him.
Definitely not happy about him.
I wouldn't be happy if you go to jail, Adam, because I know you got daughter. Break down.
There's multiple people who are no longer there for their kids as a result of that Durk allegedly called in.
Until they put that on black and white, sir. Stop throwing stuff on a black man who's trying to do something right for the community right now.
The feds have already put out a lot of information about this.
You don't have to put it out. You don't have to put it out. So this is a major platform.
You're not the boss of me. We talk about rap on here. I think it is well within our jurisdiction to talk about the fact
that what type of police
has been alleged to have ordered them.
Free smirk though.
Free smirk. But also maybe
police platform. There's some police.
Just sit down for a little bit and decide, hey, maybe I'm not anybody else.
We don't have no proof that.
Well,
we don't.
But as a last-ditch effort before trial in the summer, Durk's lawyers tried to get him a bond, and Durk's father believed it was actually happening. Words from Durk's father have Durk being released on bond. With this being his third attempt, his lawyers made an offer so great the judge can't refuse it.
I just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son, at least for the third time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor, he wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice. So he listened to all the evidence, and he's gonna give a ruling in the next few days about what his position is for the bond. But we were very pleased at how it turned out. So continue, family, friends, and fans, continue to keep us in your prayers, and we thank you. And inshallah, God willing, this be victorious for us, that we have a good ruling in our favor.
But it was at this time that the feds began showing off all the snitches they've acquired to use against Durk. As one of the leaked message group chats in OTF made the report, Lil Durk is facing allegations from federal prosecutors that he put hits on O-Block members for not retaliating for King Von. Prosecutors plan to introduce testimony from a witness who claims Durk gave the orders, as they claim Durk feuded with Munna Duke over his belief that they weren't retaliating for King Von's passing. This got whack 100 and academics to speak about the people snitching on Durk.
Life by basically saying he's guilty of for hire, and the only thing that, like, yes, some of these things look suspect. Why'd you go there? Why are these people going there? Why'd you send this message? But nothing. There's no message that they got that says where Durk says y'all that Quando yet. Nothing says that.
No, you missing the point.
Okay.
They got a witness already cooperating on that. Been had one. We just ain't seen what they said. It's 3 years. One of the cooperating.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
So
fact. That's co-conspirator too.
Yeah, I don't know. You don't need too much more than that. One of is cooperating. Then in the paperwork, you got the conversation. They say they had it in and out. The other two was figuring out how they getting paid.
Although there's hope that the snitches aren't reliable because it was reported, Lil Durk could soon be found not guilty after new court documents reveal the main witness switched up his story. He first claimed there was no bounty, now he says there was. But the feds have also got OTF Vonnie to cooperate with them, as his file was updated to show he was no longer in custody, which means he got released or is on house arrest. But what's funny is that Vonnie leaked he was taking a plea deal all on his own. He texted a friend about his plea deal details, but the friend leaked it. I'm trying to plea out to a 32, which is the base for M for hire. The max is 43, which is life. I'd get -2 points for a plea, -1 point for an early plea, and -2 points for no background. So I'll have 27 points, which is 5 to 7 years. I can't go to trial. Don't want them to do me like them other guys, as he's referring to OTF Jam, who hasn't been heard from in months. But Vonnie's dad heard that his son was snitching, so he called him out for taking out King Von and how Durk knew about it.
I'm gonna give you this. It's a back door and I got all the pieces. That's all I'm gonna tell you. As Durk asked Vonnie, is it open? Vonnie told him it's off the hinges.
Wait. Are you talking about the Von? Like King Von?
Listen very carefully. When the payment was made to Little Tim, the next day or the same day, Durk asked Vonnie, was it open? This is what he asked him. Was it open? It was the exact words, was it open? He told him it's off the hinges.
Are you saying that Vonnie backdoor King Von? No way. That was right here.
You heard what I just said. Guess what? You need motive first, right? I got bankers. I got bankers that'll testify that or will make a contract or make a statement to you and let you know that this is the amount of money he had, this is what he had, this is that, another. You need motive first and foremost. I got text messages from the lawyer letting you know that who told on Durk before, who told on Von before he died.
However, Vonnie isn't the only person snitching, because OTF DD's younger brother is also snitching when it was reported. The new Ted body cam footage of him begging to snitch against Durk and members has changed this case. Durk's lawyers submitted paperwork for an extended time on their bond proposal, as this raises the question of what did Ted say to the feds. The only reason he's snitching also is because of an unrelated charge where he had a firearm in his pockets.
Really? Dude had a. What about that? A man had a with an extended clip. That's cool though, right?
At that point, Ted was taken to the police station. Before he even got inside, with tears running down his face, he told officers, "I swear I'll tell y'all about the passings," hoping he wouldn't be sent to jail. But by then, it was already too late for him.
Come on. Hey, stop it. Stop it.
Everything. I swear to God, I think I will tell you, please, I swear, please.
Once placed into the holding cell, Ted was seen crying heavily, wanting nothing more than to give information on gang members he believed carried out hits so he could get out of jail.
Wait, hold on, you gotta relax for me, because I can't understand it. Relax. What's the number? 779, what you saying, man? We're gonna see what we can do for you, alright? We're gonna see what we can do for you. You gotta relax for me.
Relax, man. I'm gonna get a bus to prison. Relax.
Give me No, I'm saying, what are you talking about? I'm trying to get that.
However, the prosecutors found new evidence of YNW Melly committing his crime.
Did Von really tell you that Melly told him that he killed his two friends?
The Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They're like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
The prosecutors have just found Melly's secret motive to commit the crime against Sack Chaser and Juvie. The news reads, after new evidence found of YNW Sack Chaser making actions towards Melly weeks before passing, prosecutors are submitting a new motive for Melly to commit the crime alongside Bortland's help, which comes from a YNW affiliate during an interrogation with the police.
What motive would Melly have to kill his two friends?
They just piss him off? I don't know, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. Man, was on FaceTime, man. Like,
Y'all don't know, bro. Y'all don't know what Sat was doing to me. Y'all don't know what Sat was doing to me, bro. Like, saying it like Sat was some shit.
Sack Chaser did some things to Melly, making him want to get revenge. Wanting it so bad, it was even revealed by a former O-Block member that Melly asked King Von for advice on how to deal with someone.
Did Von really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Von was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? What the bam? I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
Due to the new evidence being found, it explains why Bortland took his plea deal, which makes things worse for Melly, and let me explain. It reads, as predicted, Bortland took the plea deal. He also agreed to a proffer, which means he's talking. The sentence is to accessory after the fact, and he will do 10 years plus 6 on probation minus any credit and gain time. We've already requested his deposition in the civil case, as the feds managed to lock in a deal with Bortland, which leaves Melly all alone. Academics went more into detail on Bortland snitching and said, the judge says on both charges Bortland pled no contest to, that he has to provide a factual basis for him to accept the plea, which means he has to tell a factual story of how he committed accessory to the crime, which confirms the crime happened. It's a gunna plea, except with the proffer, he can't say, yes ma'am, he gotta sing like Franklin.
I did tweet out saying, people are upset. I said, this is a gunna plea. This is a gunna plea. This isn't a plea saying you have to tell on him, but this is a plea that you're going to have to provide all the details that they were missing to convict him. And that's why it's a gunna plea. Why do I say he signed a gunna plea? Because YNW Melly, and I watched the case, we covered it. YNW Melly's case is that, number one, you guys have not done a job to prove that this is actually they are proved, but prove that this is a homicide with this person being the offender. Also, the accessory after the fact plea confirms that Bortland, that's kind of like almost like a sub part of a conspiracy, except you weren't with the conspiracy at first. You came in after the fact. What that proved is that they came in. Oh my God, my dog's crying. What that proved is that Bortland worked with someone after he acknowledged that a took place in trying to cover it up. You hear what I just said? When pleading to an accessory to after the fact, you have to acknowledge that the happened and you assisted someone or in some way to cover the. Now, if Melly's statement is, how do we know that? And then secondly, how do we know who did it? Because they said it was a drive-by.
Bortland will be required to complete an interrogation with the feds where he only speaks the truth about what happened during the night of the crime, which will reveal Melly was behind it. Even a professional lawyer says Bortland will have to snitch on Melly.
He will be flipping. He is going to be tell-all about anything he knows about the double case, and they will know if he's telling the truth or telling a lie when he gives his full quote-unquote confession as to what happened that evening. And that's what happens. A lot of times where guys are in the prison for 4 or 5 years awaiting trial and looking at a life sentence, and they're offered 10 years where they'll be home probably in another 3 years that he'll serve, he decides to flip and become a cheese eater. And that's what happens a lot of times on these cases. And I was expecting it to happen a lot sooner than it did. He held out for quite some time. But long story short is it looks like he's going to flip. And it makes the case on YNW Melly, depending on what he says, which I anticipate he'll say that YNW Melly is responsible.
But with Bortland turning on Melly, not all is bad, because Melly just had his witness tampering charge dropped, with it reported. Melly will no longer go to trial for witness tampering after prosecutors dropped the charges. The Florida rapper's trial was scheduled to start on Wednesday, January 21st, but a day before, the prosecutors decided to drop the case, which may sound like good news, but the reality is that this is all part of the state's plan to take down Melly, as they're saving Melly's ex-girlfriend as a witness for his double M case instead.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
After she was arrested, the judge made her agree to a deal in court that she has to testify in Melly's upcoming trial if she wanted to be released from jail. She made it clear on her Facebook that she didn't want to take a deal, but that she had to. As she wrote, "Thank you to my village, I love y'all so much, God's plan, not mine." This gave prosecutors the confidence to drop the witness tampering charges, knowing they believe they can still win and sentence Melly to life in prison for M charges, because in the court files it reads, the prosecutors dropped the witness tampering case against Melly to avoid jeopardizing key evidence essential to proving his guilt in the M trial. The state moved to drop the case because the suppression of jail calls remains unresolved, which risks loss of critical evidence needed for the M trial. Prosecutors charged Melly with witness tampering and gang-related offenses tied to efforts to keep key witness Mariah Hamilton from testifying in his first double M trial. Financial records show Hamilton received more than $31,000 from Melly's management company and assistants purchasing a Mercedes, despite no reported income. Jail calls, surveillance video, and inmate notes show Melly had a relay system through inmates James Howard and Terrence Mathis to pass messages outside jail after losing phone privileges. However, later in their memo it reads, recorded calls and messages instructed associates, including co-defendant Bortland, to keep Hamilton away from court using coded language and nicknames. This was brought up by YNW Juvie's father 2 years ago, as he revealed the code words.
There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures, trying to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom. And
with Melly's lawyers beginning to get worried, they tried to pull off an excuse to get the judge in their favor. As they filed a lawsuit against the county jail reporting, Melly sues Broward Sheriff's Office for cruel treatment and is seeking immediate release from prison. Melly also claims that they have not allowed him to see or speak with any family members in 3 years. Melly's team claims he has been eating barely edible food, living in a freezing cold jail cell, and gets almost no human contact. This got his mother to react when it was reported. An interview from Melly's mother paints a disturbing picture of Melly's life in jail, making it sound like he won't last much longer.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
She also revealed how she feels completely heartbroken for her son with the way he's being treated.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
This got attention in the media industry, which got Charleston White to react, and he said that Melly deserves a bad jail life.
Even the YNW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated when you done chose to play somebody.
Rapper Boozy also reacted to the situation, and he felt terrible for the way that Melly's mother has been feeling.
Okay, so
then I met his mama while he was in.
Oh, okay.
I met his mom while he was in, and she real, bro. You know, she real.
She's stressed out. I heard she had a.
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman, bro. And when I see them mamas like that, it remind me of what my mom was going through, bro.
But in order for the feds to defend why Melly's being treated so badly in jail and why he shouldn't be given bond, they used some of their evidence to prove why Melly is such a danger, as they have evidence of Melly admitting to doing the crime just hours after it happened.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that, SHHHH.
They also showed the mental state of Melly after it happened, as he looked like he was having a good time dancing with Bortlen on the following morning after the passings.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
But the most concerning evidence is how there's security footage of Melly getting into the back left seat of the Jeep just 20 minutes before the crime happened. This is very important because the court files read, the direction of the rounds traveling from left to right in the car supports the claim that they originated from the back left seat where Melly was positioned. YNW Juvie's mother was actually called into court to confirm that it was Melly who got in the back left seat.
Can you state your name, your full legal name for the jury?
I'm Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the in this case?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.
But this got Melly's lawyers to respond back, and they talked about how the feds couldn't even accurately recreate the crime scene because they never found the actual firearm responsible. As the investigator admitted, this could affect test results.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what was used.
Okay.
But what's crazy is that Bortlen got a plea deal despite him possibly tampering with the jury in the first trial.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Bortlen was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortlen, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Dimmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortlen allegedly tampered with the witness.
As this came with the report, here are the images of alleged notes discovered during the home raid of Bortlen's home. The notes show drawings from Bortlen, which wrote down where the jurors were sitting along with descriptions of what they looked like, as it makes it look like Bortlen was going to track down the jurors outside of the case to get them to flip their vote to not guilty.
To keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortlen, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy sh! Like, come the f on. It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
But with Bortlen now on the Fed side, he will give up any information he needs to, which will ruin Melly's case. One of the biggest questions the Feds still have is why Fredo Bang picked up Melly from the car.
And Chris Thomas are. So what you're also going to find out is while Mr. Devins is out there on the side of the road, 4 in the morning, 4:42 specifically, he sends a drop pin, digital homing beacon, to his current location, to one of his friends, Frederick Givens. Frederick Givens is also involved in the music industry, and he asked to be picked up. Frederick Givens, then about 11 minutes later, is sent another drop pin, where Mr. Devins has moved a couple of meters. What you're going to find out as well, though, is these digital leashes, they have more than just phone call.
But the feds want to make Melly's charges even worse because they want to add a gang aggravating factor to the charges, which means his sentence will be longer. The way they're trying to do this is by claiming that Melly was in the Red Street team because he was caught hanging out with Young Thug.
Same thing, the use of the slap term, 5-point star, the snake. He's saying he's YSL, he's hanging with him. And he puts up his YNW for life hashtag on it with Mr. Demons has the big B hand signs displayed.
Right, and see with individuals again, I'm assuming that's also Young Thug. That's also unknown.
Yes.
Also important to your investigation, correct?
Yes.
Also publicly available for anyone to see and capture.
This led to Melly being fine with them adding it to the case, but his lawyers obviously knew this was bad for him and tried to argue with Melly to let them not allow it, which led to the report. This hearing marks the first time Melly publicly went against his legal team's advisement in open court.
Yes, sir. Against our advice, our client wants to proceed.
People inside the courtroom reported hearing Melly say, "I don't care. I'm not in no team. They can't prove that."
I'm aware that 924-071 call for an automatic stay while
they were aggravators. They go to membership in a gang. There are things that the jury would have to find before going into penalty.
Not aggravator, that's the death penalty. Aggravator, that's the gang enhancement itself, Your Honor. That was charged. He was charged in committing the murder for the furtherance of the gang, which is an aggravator in terms of the guilt.
Something that they would have to find by way of an interrogatory.
Yes.
However, there's 3 rappers who were involved in the passing of King Von, which was Quando, Rondo, Lil Tim, and one you'd never expect.
Officials confirmed one of the 3 people shot was rapper King Von from Chicago, who was here last night with friends. Where a total of 6 people were. One of them, a rapper Davon Bennett, who goes by the stage name King Von.
We want to begin now with some breaking news. Rapper Lil Durk is...
The never-before-seen police files of King Von's passing were released this week, revealing evidence of his own friends backdooring him. In the new file, it was revealed Von had 10 paid bodyguards on the night of his passing, but when it came time for the altercation, they ran away and disappeared.
His security guard let him walk. You get paid he get paid to protect. How the f you let him walk over and fight? You ain't supposed to let him fight. He ain't supposed to be touching nobody. Security guard, if anything, you make sure Quando them leave. Whoever else they was with, you make sure they leave. How you let him walk over somebody that's the reason y'all here, the reason everybody in this parking lot here, because this man right here making the money and y'all his entourage. But that security guard, it's something fishy with him. That's why he deleted his Instagram. I definitely feel like it's foul play. I don't know where it's coming from, but I definitely feel like it's some weird shit going on.
What makes it even more concerning is learning that the bodyguards were hired through the label, which is owned by Lil Durk, who just so happened to be called out by OTF Vonnie's father for being behind King Von's passing.
I'm gonna give you this. It's a back door and I got all the pieces. That's all I'm gonna tell you. As Durk asked Vonnie, is it open? Vonnie told him it's off the hinges.
Wait. Are you talking about the Von? Like King Von?
Listen very carefully. When the payment was made to Little Tim, the next day or the same day, Durk asked Vonnie, was it open? This is what he asked him, was it open? It was the exact words, was it open? He told him it's off the hinges.
Are you saying that Vonnie backdoor King Von? No way. That was right here.
You heard what I just said. Guess what? You need motive first, right? I got bankers. I got bankers that'll testify that or will make a contract or make a statement to you and let you know that this is the amount of money he had, this is what he had, this is that, another. You need motive first and foremost. I got text messages from the lawyer letting you know that who told on Durk who told on Von before he.
Because of that claim, the feds started looking into the idea that Durk might have been involved, and during that process, they found something troubling that connects back to their 2019 court case together, but more on that later. In order to understand whether Lil Durk had any role in King Von's passing, they revisited the files of the night it happened. One reason is because King Von didn't technically pass away in the way most people think. Rather than it just being from the incident with Quando Rondo's crew, police were told that a nurse came in to check on him after 2 surgeries. King Von supposedly got startled from them coming in, which caused his passing.
And Von made it through 2 surgeries. He had 3 surgeries ago, he made it through 2 surgeries. And then after the second surgery, he hopped off the bed and started fighting the nurse and said where his gun at, and he went and he died because he went into shock. So he was making 2 surgeries. How hours later, Kayla know talking about some, he fought the nurse. She the one told me that. His mama didn't even know that. How you knowing what's going on inside the hospital that quick?
Because she was there at the hospital.
This raises the question of what truly happened on the day King Von passed. On November 5th, 2020, Von and his crew were getting ready to go to a club in Atlanta for his album release party. They were celebrating his Welcome to O-Block album and the future of his career, but no one expected it to end that night. King Von knew he had enemies, so he knew to look out for himself with any ops that might run up on him. Because of this, Von took extra security measures most rappers wouldn't do. He rolled out to the club in a group of 20+ members, including bodyguards, as his manager spoke about how serious he took security.
I travel with one security that moves with Von, and he traveled with 2 more security. You know what I'm saying? Von traveled in a proof truck, and not only that, his guys are security, man. He travels with 10 to 15 guys daily. They protect and love Von more than any security would. We're like, I think we're about 8-10 cars deep, 20-25 on entourage.
But once the party came to an end at the club, all of Von's crew was ready to go back to their hotels for the night.
Everybody mind leaving the club is that we're going to the hotel and the Airbnb, because that's normal routine. The club he went to, the after hours, wasn't getting paid for. I didn't have no acknowledgement of. His team didn't have no acknowledgement of. That was a complete Von decision.
However, Von had different plans. While everyone was driving back to their Airbnbs and hotels for the night, Von told his driver to go to another club called Monaco, the first decision of many that would ultimately lead to his passing.
Well, everybody else that was with us driving to the Airbnb, and Von literally went to the venue by himself. We got a call later from people in the car, like, hey bro, we here by, matter of fact, I think from his DJ was like, hey bro, you know we here by ourselves, like, where you guys at? And everybody rerouted to that venue.
For an unknown reason, Von's crew and his truck didn't communicate to the others that they were heading to another club until they arrived at Monaco, which left the rest of the crew turning around and speeding their way to the new club. Once Von's manager pulled up, he knew something was wrong with King Von. Rather than being upbeat and happy like he was at the party 30 minutes earlier, he was completely silent sitting in the back of his truck.
For some reason, Von wasn't himself. This man is like, I promise you, the best artist I ever moved in my life. For some reason that night, it was off. Like, he stayed in the car for like 30-35 minutes.
After some convincing from his manager, Von agreed to go in the club, but before he could, they had some of his security check the inside to make sure it was safe.
I went to the car he was in, I was like, yo, Von. Went inside the passenger seat, I'm like, yo, Von, bro, what's going on? Like, you know, everybody here waiting, let's go. He was like, all right, let's go. We're telling security, hey, it's time to go in now. Von's ready. You know what I'm saying? We've been here too long. Let's go inside the club. They check the venue, go inside, check the outside, make sure there's no.
They took every measure to protect him, but once another one of Von's members noticed Quando Rondo and his boys were sitting in the same parking lot in a white SUV, King Von lost it.
Now, right before we go inside the club, one of his homeboys, he came to the car and said, hey, so-and-so's here. And Von just jumped up like, oh, come on, let's go.
He instantly jumped up out of his truck to confront Quando Rondo because of their beef they had online in the months prior. King Von wanted to brawl with Quando Rondo and instantly started swinging on him.
He jumped out the car. By the time Von jumped out the car, I don't even think he knew where so-and-so was. He just jumped out the car. He bumped into so-and-so. As soon as he bumped into so-and-so, started brawling.
With King Von doing better than Quando in the brawl, Quando's friend Tim came out from behind the white vehicle and unloaded 4 rounds into King Von. With the sound of clips going off, Von's members instantly retaliated on Tim, making him drop to the ground. With Tim, Quando, and King Von all on the pavement, the situation only got worse when off-duty officers pulled up to the scene. Many rounds were sent off from King Von's crew and Quando's crew going after each other, but also the officers who came to interfere, as the officers would later take responsibility for the passing of one of King Von's members. But while the chaos erupts in the street, King Von holds Quando right beside him to shield himself.
And was he trying to take Von's chain, or?
Honest truth, I don't think V-Roy had no jewelry on, and from the people that was a little bit closer, Von was actually holding onto him like, man, you ain't going nowhere. Like, you here, like, even through getting he's that strong, like, he was literally holding him.
However, the 2 officers realized they couldn't continue, so they backed off the scene, which left time for Quando and King Von's crews to leave the scene. Von's closest friend Muop jumped into the street first, pushing Quando away and carrying Von to the getaway vehicle before speeding off to the hospital. Quando's crew loaded back up into their own white SUV and headed for the same hospital. Even though King Von had been hit 4 times, he kept his leadership in the car, as people who were in the car with him recalled how Von kept saying it would all be okay.
When he was in the car, I myself wasn't there. The gentleman that was in the car with him, was panicking, and Vaughn was the one that was like, hey, calm down, slow down, chill, I'm gonna be good, just get him to the hospital. And honest truth, we all thought that the way he was carrying himself from that incident, from what I was told from the people in the car, that he would have been fine.
Unfortunately, this was where Vaughn would pass in the hospital room after 2 surgeries and the nurse walking in. But apparently, Vaughn was searching for a firearm in the room that he never had with him. This information only came out recently, so people wonder how Boosie knew Vaughn didn't have a firearm during an interview from 2 years ago.
I mean, like you said, the King Von situation, like there was absolutely no reason for Vaughn to be rolling around with that dude. Like, there was no, especially since he had security, like, you know, someone should have jumped in. It should never even.
King
I almost feel like, but I almost feel like if you have real security,
all of them is supposed black. I feel like they would have been more ready in Chicago.
Sad, man, sad. I mean, the whole King Von thing is really kind of hanging
me up,
over
bro.
everyone right now.
That me up, bro. Because I like King Von.
But it wasn't long until King Von's passing spread across news headlines.
This made national headlines as officials confirmed one of the 3 people was rapper King Von from Chicago, who was here last night with friends.
2 groups of individuals got into a physical altercation. That physical altercation escalated into an exchange of guns.
But many ops reacted positively to King Von passing, as many people hated him.
When you looked at King Von getting, how did you feel, considering the animosity between you guys up to that point?
Like my real, like, first action, thought, I was happy.
You were happy?
I was happy.
When you heard that, considering the back and forth that y'all have had in your own ways, how did you feel?
So I kind of happy.
You were happy?
Can I say I was kind of happy? No, seriously, I was, though. It was up. That, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, he did. But I was happy as when I found out Von was dead. I cooked for the whole day. For all the people I
Although the people responsible for the crime would later take interviews to speak about that night, as Quando Rondo said,
Whoever on my side, they got kids and a mama that 100% love them. And at the end of the day, bro, all this bull that we talking about is stupid. That could have been handled a totally different way. It could have been handled to the point where a song and $3-4 million could have came out, or whatever. Like, it could have got handled in a legit way, in a music way.
While Tim said something similar, but blamed King Von for acting out.
No, like, shit, I was just protecting my little brother.
When you did finally find out that it was King Von who did it, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, shit, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to, like, his mama saying him shit like that, because I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like, they ain't never popped that shit off. That would have never happened like that.
With Tim being responsible for the crime, he was arrested and charged for the passing of King Von. However, after many court hearings and bond attempts, Tim's lawyer pleaded with the judge to say he only acted in self-defense. The judge found that claim to be true, and Tim had all charges dropped after his lawyer announced. The case against Lil Tim was dismissed before ever being indicted. While it technically was self-defense, Tim escalated the crime way more than he should have, and people from O Block didn't feel like justice had been done. So they took it into their own hands, which led into a hit on Quando's crew at a gas station, which took out Lil Pab.
Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath.
Lil Pab was Quando's friend, and the news captured the moment that Quando received the news that Pab didn't make it.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
Durk used this as creative fuel for his music because he'd later rapped the lyric in a song, "They like Durk, he a singer, he won't do something. You can believe whatever you want. I got your folks hit," while adding on another line referencing how Quando Rondo reacted. "Look on the news and see your son screaming no." After the members of OTF who did the crime were caught, Durk would also be arrested for ordering the hit by putting $1 million on Tim's crew. This has now led to people snitching on Lil Durk, as OTF Didi's younger brother is now snitching with the report. The new Ted body cam footage of him begging to snitch against Durk and members has changed this case. Durk's lawyers submitted paperwork for an extended time on their bond proposal. And if you didn't know, Diddy is one of Durk's main hitters, so it's very likely his little brother knows something about the crimes. But what's interesting is he isn't even supposed to be in the case. He got caught on an unrelated charge for having a firearm in a store.
Really? Dude had it. What about that? A man had it with an extended clip. That's cool though, right?
With Ted being driven to the station, he started crying and asking to snitch during his walk to the jail.
Come on. Hey, stop it. Stop it.
I tell you about everything. I swear to God. I tell you, I will tell you, please, I swear, please.
They left Ted to wait in a holding cell before an officer could come speak to him, and it's clear he just wanted to snitch on any crimes he can to be released.
Wait, hold on. You gotta relax for me, because I can't understand it. Relax. What's the number? 779, what you saying, man? We're gonna see what we can do for you, all right? We're gonna see what we can do for you. You gotta relax for me.
Relax, man. I'm gonna get a bus to prison. Relax.
Give me no, I'm saying, what you talking about? I'm trying to get that.
However, this is where the story takes another turn, because in 2026, new claims came out about the truth behind King Von's passing from people close to the situation. Vonnie's father claimed that Vonnie played a major role in the passing of King Von and that Durk already knew about it. The files even include clips of academics asking Vonnie's father why Durk would want King Von gone. Police noted that at the time of Von's passing, Durk and Von were both dealing with a case together. That case later ended in a private settlement, which some people believe could mean Durk made a private deal with the feds that placed the blame on Von.
Why would Durk want Von?
Man, let me give you this. First of all, you didn't sign your rights over. You ain't in no 360 deal. First of all, you can't bring nobody into the business and they surpass you. How you bring me to the table when I pass you up? Don't nobody want their chief spot taken, do they?
That's an interesting
Dude was
thing.
a slack. Dude was he was signing the boys. He was Von wasn't no slack.
That's interesting. I did find out that Von didn't have any contractual ties to Durk like that, which was
Man, come on, man. He wasn't even signed to him. How's this his friend? He lied on Breakfast Club and said, "Hey, you think your man would be sitting here with $300,000 worth of jewelry on and he not have an attorney? He had a public defender."
This also got people to remember how Durk was on Instagram Live the moment that Von passed. But that wasn't the only passing he was on live for, as one fan wrote. Vonnie's dad leaking that Durk had Von dealt with is making me wonder why Durk suddenly goes on live when he's connected to someone passing. He went on live the minute when King Von, Lil Pab, and FBG Duck passed away, which leads people to believe he's doing it so he has an alibi. He can claim that he was on live stream so he had no part in those passings, but it's clear that Durk was just hiring the hits from behind the scenes instead. Not only did OTF Vonnie orchestrate King Von's passing, but 2 years later he sided with Durk again and orchestrated Lil Pab's, according to Vonnie's father.
Oh no, he ain't take my rights. He ain't respond no back to me because this is on a tablet. He on a jail tablet when I sent that to him. He ain't respond nothing else to him. I told you he can't take my advice because they playing. They made themselves get caught. This is what come along with it. They wanted to get caught. You understand me?
So, that's what you meant by trenches of paint. Okay.
What you mean trenches? What?
Was it you that said that? With the whole narrative about Vonnie snitching with the text messages, like that's.
Yeah. I don't know who said that, but that was me.
Cause that was a focus. Everybody was trying to make it seem like that's what the text messages was about.
That's just saying what he finna cop out to, and this, that, and other. And with me saying Von, some people like, damn, what he gonna tell on some words on Von?
I ain't gonna lie, I said that in my video. I'm intrigued to know what the Von name was for.
No, he ain't gonna tell him no Von. You gonna tell it just like you orchestrated Lil Baby. You orchestrated it, and guess who you work for?
But ever since King Von's passing, the life inside OTF and O Block hasn't been the same. The members are scared and worried, as you can see the moment that they wanted to look at an art piece of King Von and they had to be extra careful.
Check it out. I was walk over here and see this Von picture. I know it's a lot of ops on this. I'm letting y'all see where I'm at. Why is this black truck still right here? Man.
to play. Watch that truck. Watch that truck right there.
Meanwhile, Lil Baby is being investigated for several crimes. The Atlanta police are getting ready for a RICO.
White was hosting a Super Bowl party at Delia Lounge on Mission Street. At some point, White got into an argument involving rapper Lil Baby.
I don't know what celebrity you are. It don't matter. They get my ticket. Let me ride home. I can't have nobody seeing me right here.
After the release of Baby's new music video for his song Trendsetter, the Atlanta rapper got investigated by police. The news reads, the Atlanta police have updated their case for the potential 4PF RICO case after nothing added to it for over a year. Expect arrests to be made against 4PF members in the coming weeks, with even Lil Baby going down with them, which is exactly what DJ Academics predicted would happen when Baby was involved in another altercation.
This is on camera. They know who did it. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. If they don't arrest the person who did the person, Lil Baby's cooked. Facts. I'm gonna tell you that. If they don't arrest the person who at this club within 2 weeks, Lil Baby's cooked. I'm gonna tell you why. If they have camera proof of who did the and they don't arrest you, it's because they haven't done the case. Remember that. Just remember that. So, I just want to point this out to you. This is not the 80s. Y'all somebody in a club in an entranceway or hallway where there's cameras. I get it. Everybody done flew back to Atlanta, flew back to wherever it came from. But if there's not an arrest warrant put out in the next 2 weeks or an arrest made, just remember, this doesn't go away.
The feds are officially opening up the 4PF evidence file again and are using it to put pressure on Lil Baby. With the Atlanta feds already going after Young Thug and failing, they now want Lil Baby.
I'm gonna tell you some things that you're gonna have to take my word or don't believe it. It's fine. I don't care either or. When Fonnie Willis started targeting YSL, Fonnie Willis had a bunch of people to target. She wanted Thug, she got YFN. So she got YSL, YFN. Eventually, they were gonna get to 4PF. That's one of the reasons they changed their names, by the way.
The reason for them going after Lil Baby was because of a huge incident that happened when the news wrote, Baby is reportedly accused of getting into a dispute with San Francisco 49ers player Keon White, who was hit a short time later, as details from the case revealed. On Monday, February 9th, Bay Area news outlet the San Francisco Standard reported on the incident, which occurred during a Super Bowl after party at Dahlia nightclub. A witness tells police Baby and his entourage tried to enter White's private section, which resulted in an argument between Baby and White. The witness left the level of the club to notify management when they heard 2 rounds go off and returned to find White hit in the leg.
Window is like right by my bed, and so I saw lights. Like I think that's why I woke up at first. I think I kind of knew that it wasn't like the most safe place, but honestly, I mean, like, it kind of seems par for the course. Like, I'm not like entirely like, how could this happen here?
This got people to react, saying Lil Baby is still about the street life because he went after a football player to prove it, but he lost it just as fast after Academics called him out to box and he dodged it.
Sold 34,000 the first week. How the you want 40 million, man? This is delusional, man. Atlanta looking crazy right now, man. Full pocket full of hoes. This is crazy. How you ducking a fade with me? They want 40 million. The nigga is acting like this is Jake. This nigga acting like this is Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather fighting. Cause somebody yo, have you seen this? Yo, this can't be serious, bro. Bro, I wouldn't be even asking for that. And low key, yo, I'm gonna keep it a beam with you. You know, I said whatever he get. I thought he was gonna be realistic. I thought Lil Baby is on some like he's gangster. So I'm like, yo, I bet. What's up? Let's like, cause I'm telling you, he's like a scrawny. I'm like, I bet. Whatever he get, just give me half. Ain't you a nigga? Y'all should be fighting for fun. You squabble up just cuz. I'm the one that everybody says probably never had a fight. Okay, you're my first fight. You get to knock me out for all this that I taught before and will continue to talk till we squabble.
Which is interesting because in Lil Baby's track Top Priority, he started the beef with Academics by calling him out in lyrics saying, these Academics guys think they can't get touched. As this started another incident because Lil Baby's team went after Academics. With it reported, the feds have been investigating Baby, building a case of evidence against him. This new beef with DJ Academics will likely spark the first set of arrests in the 4PF camp, making its way to Lil Baby. The main reason why this is so concerning is because Lil Baby's boy K Rich claimed he was going after Academics for 4PF. As Academics admitted, he got slapped by Baby's cameraman K Rich in Miami with a photo of Academics' right-hand man with a police car from the night. K Rich was so proud of what he did that he spoke about it on a live stream.
So boom, and he said something, bro, I swear to God, right hand of God. I smacked the shit, right hand of God, bro, I smacked.
You smack academics.
Yes, and then listen. After I smack him, listen. Yo, Lil Baby, eat a. I'm not even gonna address it, Lil Baby. You eat a, because I don't know this, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm getting that Lil Baby, because I've been waiting for this. I can't take it out on a kid I don't know. I'm up tens of millions of dollars. I'm taking it out on this boss. Yo, Lil Baby, if this is what you believe or he believe, both y'all eat a. Whatever y'all think, that's what it is. Both y'all.
But with some fans asking what it has to do with Lil Baby, Academics revealed exactly how. Because he claimed how Lil Baby's team paid him 30 grand in order to not criticize his upcoming album, but went back on it by backdooring him with K Rich.
The Lil Baby got to drop his new album. And I'm gonna start really getting on business. Yo, Lil Baby, you and your team paid me $30,000 to keep quiet about your motherfucking album. And I sat there and I realized, I said, well, if you paid me $30,000, there ain't no way you sent a come swing on me. Why would you do that? Don't make no sense. $30,000 you could pay for a hit. Why the would you send to come swing on me for pennies and to clean your balls in your drawers and then pay me $30,000? I got the receipts posted just. Why would you pay me afterwards? Cause y'all whole demeanor was an act. You a wave, and I said I'll fall back. I said I can't lie to, but I'll fall back, and y'all paid me to do it. Y'all paid me.
But with Lil Baby playing games with Academics, Academics now wants $300,000 if they want him to keep quiet.
Yo, baby, you gonna have to pay me to get off your for this next time. Y'all paid me 30 bands already. The price is now 300 bands. Straight up. The price done went up 300 bands. You have this who you sent. Yo, Lil Baby, stop the bullshit. You sent this to go do this bullshit. When I called you up, you acted like, oh, wait, what happened about? Yo, do you know this K Rich? I call every in Atlanta. You know what they say? But that's his assistant. That's his name. Wait, he act like you don't know him? Yo, I talked to him. He say, Lord, pay me for your album tonight. Yo, I'm on your forever. Remember that. So listen, I'm only saying this because I think this little K Rich thing, I'm gonna go back and forth with him. Let me tell you this, I'm gonna cost your boss $1 million. I did this to the best of them, and I'm gonna do it to him.
Academics isn't letting Lil Baby get off of this easily and wants to make a big deal about it.
And baby, you gotta respond to it. I'm gonna make this loud. You gotta respond to this. You're gonna either be pussy or you're gonna stand on it and say, I did backdoor that. You thought it was cool? When I asked you in the morning, you know what you said? So the first thing I said, yo, bro, you know what came up to me? He said some 4 p.m. You know the first thing you said? Yo, act, chill, act, man, you on that police. You scared of this 4 p.m. Bet, cool. I say, yo, nah, baby, like that was. So he's like, act, what? You acting dumb.
But jumping Academics and the Super Bowl incidents are just the beginning. Even before these incidents, the Atlanta feds were in court saying how Lil Baby was placing bounties on people as it was reported. Investigators on the stand, we are listening to wiretap calls. Someone mentioned that Baby had tickets on some people's heads.
Like, come on, bro, you know what's finna go on. Like, how the hell you can, you know what I'm saying? They ain't even like that, man. Them got tickets on a lot of these folks, I'm telling you.
We just heard somebody say these folks got tickets on these people. We know what's going on. First of all, who was that said that about the tickets?
Unk, the unidentified male that was being referred to as Unk.
And he's speaking with Mr. Sanders.
Correct.
And what, in your experience, do you know what tickets are?
A price on somebody's head.
What do you mean by what do you mean on somebody's head? What is that?
Like a bounty.
Okay. To have them arrested?
Harm. Or
and who were they referring to in that portion of the call?
They were saying that they had heard that Dominique Jones had tickets on a lot of people's heads.
Dominique Jones wanted to have people harmed.
Correct.
All right, moving on.
According to Academics, there's even a journalist who confirmed that the feds are after Lil Baby.
So there's this journalist. He's out of Atlanta. Well-reputed journalist. His name is George Cheedy. Like, he was the person who was very accurate on predicting that YSL was going to get indicted in the RICO. He's an Atlanta journalist, certified. He's really good. He's came out and he said that the Atlanta Public Defenders Council, like the office, they're basically their specialized unit for Georgia's Public Defender's Office. The one the unit that specializes on gang cases says the office is actively preparing for a racketeering indictment on the 4PF and OMF case. Now I don't know what OMF is, and that he expects Lil Baby to be indicted.
This got the internet to go crazy, and Young Thug tweeted at the investigator who claimed Lil Baby was placing bounties to call her a liar and expose her for who she is. As academics explained investigator Marissa's involvement of trying to lock up Lil Baby.
What Young Thug did to have and this is how you know this 4PF is real. Young Thug posted the woman. This is Marissa Vivierdo. He said, biggest liar in the DA office. He posted her, okay? And then he also reposted, all my homies hate Vivierdo. Now, this is someone who is a officer of the law. This is someone who is a government official. When you do that and you're under probation, the government is gonna be like, oh, you sending a smoke signal that people should hurt this woman? That's why they're doing a motion to revoke his shit. Why did he do this? Because she's testifying in the OMF case, and she's basically saying, yo, OMF and 4PF, Lil Baby and them, they're beefing and is dying, and indictment's finna come down.
This got Lil Baby so worried that he ended his record label to avoid it being labeled as a street team. But from what K Rich said and how he claimed he was jumping academics for 4PF, it's clear that 4PF never really went away.
First 4 Pockets 4 had to come to an end. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. When you say of course, I mean, why you say of course?
Because it's all shit that be going on. And I had to start learning that, like, other people's actions I could be held accountable for.
Right.
I ain't know all that at first. You know what I'm saying? I never would have went that route, but I ain't know. You know what I'm saying? Now that I know, I'll be a fool to just keep the same thing going. They trying to make something out of something that it ain't.
Right.
Like, if I got any kind of control of, hey, we're gonna switch that whole thing up. It ain't even just about the police. It's just period. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never was supposed to make my label something that I talk about.
Although things got worse when the police wrote a statement reading, the Atlanta Police Department is calling out Baby, saying his actions led to the passing of 2 young individuals. They announced 7 arrests had been made in connection to the passing of Jacody Davis and Lamont Freeman. Major Ralph stated the incidents were part of an incident while Lil Baby was filming a music video which got 3 people injured. They specifically called out Lil Baby, saying, this team will work relentlessly to hold you accountable.
The investigation aspect of this, Lamont Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes before gang violence ultimately took his life. Gang violence was orchestrated by adults in our city, and cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been. And in the subsequent days, we saw and ultimately the deaths of 2 children as a result of his cowardly actions. And you know who you are. And I tell you that this team will work relentlessly to hold you and the persons that you are affiliated with responsible for those actions.
What's crazy is they're placing the blame on Lil Baby, but he didn't really do anything. All he was doing was filming a video outside a taco shop.
Atlanta police are blaming a local rapper's music video for the deaths of 2 13-year-olds, and a $50,000 reward is being offered for more information. So far, 7 people have already been arrested.
Between it was nothing but pop, 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 pop.
At least 25 shots fired.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was just a concert. I was waiting for Lil Baby to come by my tacos up.
But this lady from the news was the person who actually alerted the ops to Lil Baby's whereabouts. She didn't do it intentionally, but she filmed Lil Baby being there and posted it to Facebook.
Where y'all at? We over here kicking in. We got Lil Baby shooting a video around here. We don't know how we do it at Slapping Taco. Baby, there he go, there he go. Y'all see him? He came to get him some tacos, baby. Y'all better pull up. Cause you already know how he doing this Slapping Tacos, baby.
But there may be a certain person who's responsible for Lil Baby being targeted. Young Thug said it himself that he isn't sure where Baby and him stand with Gunna still.
I just like to help people, you know.
One of those artists was Gunna. You guys did a ton of songs together.
Yeah.
Very successful on your label.
Yeah.
He was arrested about the same time as you. I think a lot of people wonder what that relationship is like now.
Yeah. I know everybody wondering that.
What's it like?
I don't know.
Even fans wrote, once y'all learn the entire effects of Gunna snitching in that YSL trial, then you'll realize why Lil Baby and Young Thug will never be cool with him. Because it was just 1 month after Gunna was released where Lil Baby suddenly began getting arrested a lot. With the first arrest reported, Lil Baby was arrested Monday night for carrying a concealed firearm without a permit and was sent to the Clark County Detention Center, where he was being held on $5,000 bail.
I need 20 bands, call the number for me. Hey, security, the black guy, call the number for me. Locking me up for a gun, but I got license. Security, I need 200 bands a year. I swear to God, security. Security, I need 200 bands a year. You don't make 200 bands here. Hey, lady, my check leaving at 9:10. Nah, check me good. I gotta in my nuts. Check me good. You on the camera? I gotta my nuts. Check me good. I gotta go. Alright, y'all let me that cross shoot myself dead. Y'all fired.
Even academics revealed that 4PF has been listed on the file that has all the other teams the feds want to give RICO charges to, which is the same list that YSL was on.
I've heard 2 of them. Like, I've heard the 2 of them. They're like, yo, these are going first, then these are going first. I've heard the names. And I don't know if I should say it. Again, I got nothing to do with no investigation for nothing, whatever, but these are top rappers. Well, one's a top rapper. The other one, matter of fact, I'll do the segment without saying the name. I'll just say this. I believe you know who the obvious name is. They're in Atlanta. They go by three letters. They've been popping. One of the top, I would say, 3 rappers in the game.
But Lil Baby's next arrest came after he was pulled over for an illegal window tint.
Huh? Man, you know why I pull you over? These windows, they tinted. You can't see nothing out.
I'm a celebrity, man. Nobody can't see me. Give me my ticket. Let me ride.
I don't know what celebrity you are.
It don't matter. They give me my ticket. Let me ride. I can't have nobody seeing me right here. I'm gonna let my window up.
Oh, yeah, you good, but you can't have that tinted window, man.
All right, they give me the ticket. Have a good day, man.
Now, who are you? You say you,
My name Lil Baby.
Okay, I just need you to sign right here, okay?
You got a pen? 827. You don't be want to have these. You gotta have tickets in Atlanta. These folks crazy. I take a ticket, then somebody follow me home.
Put a 32.
Huh?
You can put a 32. If you got a medical exception, you can get a 10.
While he only received a ticket, he was pulled over again just down the street and was taken to the police station. Luckily, he called his lawyer, and Lil Baby was released that same night. However, Kodak Black is about to go to trial for his case.
Hey, look, come here. I'm gonna arrest you on all right? This is just for the being. Come on, spread your keep your head low.
Kodak Black. Officials say Bill Capri, better known as Kodak Black, violated the conditions of his pre-trial release.
Boozy exposed Kodak Black right before the start of trial for trafficking and possession, calling him out for checking into protective custody in the past and doing it again in the present.
Mr. PC, you check PC, man. Nothing you rap is valid anymore, bro. Nothing you rap is valid, bro. Not to know. Nothing you rap is valid. You ain't got more respect than a nigga who never made a hit, bro. Who trying, man. You ain't got more respect than him, bro. I respect them way more than you, man. You check PC, man. You not like that. Should I name all the rappers who been to the Fed, man? And ain't check PC, man. The worst of the worst, man. You walk that way, man.
This is because the news wrote, Florida rapper Kodak Black will finally face court hearings about his charges of trafficking and possession. Lawyers expect the rapper to face a prison sentence instead of a rehab program due to him being a repeat offender. However, Kodak will have no choice but to get into protective custody due to what he did in the past. As Boozy explained, Kodak will have a really hard time while in prison because he worked with 6ix9ine.
You know, Kodak done been in jail, bro, so that was a detrimental move to him, bro. Like 6ix9ine, I'm gonna tell you this, Vlad, and I'm pretty sure 6ix9ine knows this too. 6ix9ine is the most hated person in prison.
Really?
You hear 6ix9ine name damn near every other day. When people looking at their case, this motherfucker 6ix9ine. Like he is hated, he's hated. He's hated, bro. What Kodak did, he's gonna have to stand on that. He better stay I got 9 calls from the feds, from the state, everything. Like, Boost, is it true? I know people are, bro, they gonna get on Kodak for that, bro. If he ever...
But that's not even the worst part. Newly found footage from a 2015 case has gone viral online, where Kodak is seen having an interrogation with police and telling the officer, "I'll tell you whatever."
Let's do this. Let's start by one by one. One by one. Right. Tell you whatever. We're just talking about the kids right now. To be fair to you, tell me about the burglary and what happened. It's helping me in any way.
This resulted in many rappers realizing what's going on with Kodak, and Bunk reached out to show love.
But right now, man, we worried about you. You don't look too healthy. And from the outside looking in, it's obvious that you're a and I don't believe for one second you just doing for your own enjoyment. Nah, you trying to find something to fill up that void that's within your chest. See, I've been where you at right now. But by the grace of God, I'm clean. Them strongholds have been pulled down. Them chains are broken. So I'm qualified to talk about this. You got to make a decision, bro. You got too many people looking up to you. And from one father to another, you got to set the right example for your son. This coming from somebody who genuinely cares. So if you come across this video, you want to sit at the table, break bread, man, holla at me.
The following day later, Kodak had his first court hearing scheduled, but just before he went, he hopped on Instagram Live and said how he used to use the blue stuff from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, it must be off today because he eating good. What you mean? You mean like as in like I must be off it, or I must like not be on it? What you trying to say? Whoever the his name, mellow fellow. You don't know me. I eat good. I eat good every day, all day, yeah, man. High or not, yeah. I'm being a. I tried it though.
You said keep.
I don't keep for real. But I'm gonna tell y'all this right here, right now. Man, everybody be on. It's nothing. Every. You feel me? That's why I said that. That's why I had said that, you feel me?
But Kodak's court hearing didn't go well when it was reported. Chatter inside the courtroom between prosecutors and law officials makes it sound like Kodak isn't being given another chance. Time to face a sentence, but for how long? Kodak didn't take the news well and went live on TikTok looking terrible.
Yes. I like that. All right, DP, thank you, brother.
Yeah, you was
all right, coming up next, I want to play some Drew Hill. I got Camper, I got Anita Baker, all on the way. My name is UB Rodriguez. I'm in for Shelby Russian today. Hot 105.
But the Kodak Black situation is very concerning because he already faced this charge 2 years ago. On February 28, 2023, Kodak Black admits to being on drank, but denies being on other items after pleading not guilty on possession and firearm charges.
I was on the and I was asleep in front of my family house, bro. That's it. I was on that drink, sleep in front of my people's house. But that ain't illegal. And that ain't illegal. So all that shit is just the process that it had to be in any other mud shot. The process that even though like bogus is plastered all over the internet, then on top of that it's like, bro, like I'm Haitian. And then it's just like my error, bro, like, nah, like, man, you better off.
Shortly after this live, he got his house raided by the feds and was arrested on the charges. Luckily, his lawyer convinced the judge to let Kodak have rehab rather than getting a 2-year jail sentence.
Kodak, whose real name is Bill Capri, faced a judge Tuesday in Orange after turning himself in following an arrest warrant issued for violation of his pretrial release. Authorities said he tested positive for during a random test earlier this month.
What is the unjust and not right about this situation?
Black, addressing the judge after the pretrial release technician testified he may have mixed up the samples between Black and another patient.
There's no way you tested positive. We can resolve that by way of a hair sample, and that'll clear you.
Judge Barbara Duffy then asking for a hair sample today to clear up the alleged mix-up, which Black refused, rather choosing to check into the Legacy Rehabilitation Facility for 30 days as part of his pretrial release.
Once Kodak got out of rehab, it looked like he actually changed his life for the better, as he began creating new music again, working out, and overall being a better person. This led to the release of his return song to the music industry titled Walk, which got over 30 million views. As Kodak climbed his way back up the music industry and to continue promoting his new music, he went on a Kai Cenat live stream. But it went terribly because he began speaking not even making sense, sweating and swatting at invisible things.
You can't always say it, but at times when it feel good, that's when you say it sometimes. Yeah.
I thought your name was Bubba. Hey, oh.
The morning after the live stream, Kodak would hop on IG Live trying to explain the situation.
Come on, say y'all people like who be on that, y'all be on all type of shit. Y'all be on shit. Say all type of stupid. But I take me one and y'all be so hurt. Y'all wanna like it anyway. Yeah. Everybody else who be coming like on that timing, they ain't got no motion. They broke, they hurt, they something, or they trying to come into life some kind of way and trying to like look for any type of shit. Yeah, I could come in that way. Oh, I think you need help. Oh, look, bro, I try to like, and then you don't think.
But Kodak Black liked the idea of being on live stream with people watching him, so he booted up his Instagram Live, and it ended with him tweaking on the counter.
Bitch got the sentence. What you want a Mac? Got some sentence. Got the sentence. You bitches, boy. Got some sentence. Boy, I want raise you on your back. Yeah, stuck on the Mac. Hey, stuck on the Mac. Then a bed rest. There's a long nap. But she took it out today, and you can't do it back. You can't help.
But Kodak's been in a bad state and is the reason why he's taking products to try and make himself feel better, because he went on Instagram to say he was waiting to pass.
Everybody getting while we waiting on other people too, right? Other people, they don't know how to let time do its thing. Everybody like let time do its shit, bro. Time is the best, what you call it, whether it's gonna heal or whatever it's gonna like, let time do its shit. You gotta be patient. Love is patient, love is kind. Like I'm saying, it makes absolutely zero sense, no sense at all to try to approach the situation with any type of aggression. The whole world on everybody on your man on your on everybody again while we waiting, while we just down here waiting on when we're gonna.
It's possible Kodak actually read this from a tweet which said, "Every time I see Kodak Black, I get so sad. That man has like 4 baby mamas, and don't none of you greedy women care about him for real, because why aren't y'all helping? Probably sitting around waiting for him to pass away." This continued with more fans saying, "Every day I see a new video of Kodak strung out, not even acting like a human. Is someone gonna help him?" With another saying, "Anyone else afraid if Kodak doesn't get help, we're going to lose him?" They reacted this way when they saw Kodak eating chicken in the middle of the street.
The wrong thing. Take a seat next to him. Take a seat next to him. Enjoy that food. Enjoy that. Take a seat next to him, brother.
Oh, hold on, please. I want to be part of bro, I want to join them, bro. I want to be down here.
But shortly after, Kodak would hint towards why he's been feeling so down, sharing that he's never truly felt real love before.
I know girl treated you right, never, bro. I never had experienced love before. I never experienced it. I never experienced it, bro. I never experienced it, bro. I never did, bro. I never did, bro. I never experienced love, bro. I never did, bro. I never had it. I never had it, bro. I never had it, bro. I never had it.
But Kanye saw that Kodak was struggling, so he tried to help him.
Okay, so I thought Kodak was in Miami. I see he's in Atlanta. So I'm getting a flight down to Atlanta right now and do something. So anybody that's already down in Atlanta that knows him and knows anything about him, I know I said rappers and all that, but right now I need y'all, man, to like really go and do something. Like we can't, I know y'all think I'm crashing out. Y'all, you see me talking, I'm expressing myself. And look, man, please don't, I know I said a lot, and just let me go down there and go help this man out.
Although to continue with Kodak not acting right, he started pacing around his room talking about how he's Drake's favorite rapper.
I'm Drake's favorite rapper.
Who?
I'm his favorite rapper.
You Drake's favorite rapper?
Yeah.
Nah.
He always say that, even his people always say that. They always say that. Even when he, you know what I mean? Even when he ain't around, so shit like, oh, no, it's real.
But 1 week later, he continued being mean because someone told Kodak that he liked when he was sober and Kodak got aggressive.
Say, I love when Kodak's sober. I ain't sober. I look sober.
That nigga's going for two.
I know it's sober. For what? For what? Look at all this money. Look at all this cash. Sober for what? Too young sober. Young sober.
He then showed up to an NFL game and it got people reacting. NFL fans are worried for rapper Kodak Black's health as he appeared off while showing love to the Ravens.
Hey Kodak, what you gotta say about the Ravens, Big G? I love the Ravens. Hello. Hey, what about that boy LJ, man? What you gotta tell the flock about that boy LJ, man? Hey, that boy Yak in the city. Yeah, Yak in the city. I live out here. Baltimore, let him know.
But more OGs in the industry tried to help Kodak out because Wallow and Gilly got to him and it was reported. Wallow and Gilly give some life advice to Kodak Black, saying don't ever doubt yourself. You got them babies counting on you.
Don't ever doubt yourself. You got them babies counting on you. There's gonna be times where you're gonna doubt yourself, you're gonna be in pain, but them babies counting on you. You gotta be here. And I'm telling you that because a lot of people get around you and they see your success and they say, oh man, a lot of people need you, and they yes man you. I ain't here to yes man you. You know me, every time we connect, you know I got love for you. Not because I need you, I got love for you because you're a young cat and I was young, Gil was young. Live. And I'm telling you that because you see that love that lady get, you see how you light up when I talk about your babies? Live. These people wanna laugh, they wanna joke, they wanna criticize. They don't know your pain, I don't know your pain. But I know one thing, them babies counting on you.
They reminded Kodak he has to try and stay strong for his family because they depend on him. But while Kodak was in the middle of going through it, he was invited out to the White House and it didn't go well.
So like, imagine a world if all of us was just one color. If all of us was just blue or green. Oh, if everybody was smart, you gotta have some dumb people. Oh, what if everybody was rich? Who's gonna take the trash out?
But Kodak realized how bad it looked, so he'd apologize for his actions once again, but it didn't amount to anything.
I'm honestly, I'm sorry to everybody. I'm sorry to the people who I heard it. I'm sorry if you don't understand me. I'm sorry if you just don't like me. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry, and I'm sorry to everybody that I've wronged, and I'm so sorry to all the times I made my mom cry, and I'm sorry to all the girls whose heart I broke. I'm sorry to Young Miami, you know what I'm saying, for kind of disrespecting her and stuff like that. She accepted my apology. She did?
But after a few weeks since Kanye reached out, Kodak responded back to him by saying some weird stuff. As he said, Kanye's a real one. You know why he's a real one? Kanye, the only guy who still likes Diddy.
Yeah. Kanye a real one. You know why you a real one? Cause I'm some whole kind of Kanye the only tell Diddy, cause he know he ain't a lot of the other look at me. I'm clean, yeah. In her,
Meanwhile, Pooh Shiesty is about to go back to jail for the crime he just did.
And it lands a rapper in jail. 7 Sheldon Fox with the exclusive.
Rhode Island says you're wanted with Mr. Williams. You were arrested for pursuant to an arrest.
Pooh Shiesty just violated his probation. The news wrote, Pooh Shiesty has been investigated by police for breaking his probation agreement. His ongoing beefs and lyrics dissing the feds put him on the radar. Sources claim his arrest is coming soon, as Shiesty sent goons after Youngboy for dissing Lil Durk during a recent concert. Later on that night, he wrote on Instagram, there might be one rapper that got more bodies than me, and that's Lil Boozy. Shiesty isn't supposed to have beefs with anyone according to his probation agreement, but it doesn't seem like Shiesty cares. 2 days later, Shiesty would join Youngboy's IG Live for a public argument.
I'm on this type shit who gives a
That's what you doing right now. Well, all this, what you doing right now?
We really live this we talk about, you hear me? We real deal live this stupid ass. You niggas stupid or what? Go look at our video. Cuz say you the last one standing. Like I said, cuz.
The next day after Shiesty appeared on a stream with Ben, they ended up FaceTiming another streamer named Rakai, who openly said he's Team Youngboy and Shiesty didn't like it.
Don't apologize to me.
Man, Rakai, hey, look, bro, you gotta, man, just rep anything, man. Just say you something, and then you good.
I'm 4K Dre.
Who? Rakai, what the man?
You said what?
You could ain't good for him, cuz. Ain't no I'm finna you right back.
Shiesty made it clear which side he was on because it was reported. Lil Zay Osama speaks on why it's no surprise the industry is switching up on Lil Durk for Youngboy.
Nah, for real though, I don't see why this was surprising or new to y'all. Everybody jumping ship because this how the industry is. Nobody in the industry is gonna stick around you when you at your lowest. If they can't get clout, notoriety, money, fame, features, videos, something that they could benefit from off you, they're gonna jump ship. I don't see why it's surprising that everybody is on YB in the industry. That's how it go. They only gonna with you when it's beneficial to them. None of these ain't grow up with Durk. None of these ain't friends or real homies with Durk for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Or they would never change, or they would never jump ship. Cause where we from, if you with me, my ops is your ops is mine. Some people don't look at it like that. Some people look at it like I with both parties, I ain't got nothing to do with it. And look, you not wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, shout out to the that still there, stayed down for Durk, his real family and friends, you feel?
Shiesty wanted everyone to know he's sticking on Durk's side. He rocks so much with Durk that he even got mad when someone didn't know who he was.
Is that my jerk? Oh.
Lil Durk.
JCB Films with that 5 gifted, bro. I appreciate you.
OTL. What you talking about? Why you say it like that for? Come on, get your picture, man, before you get up.
Oh, wait, my phone.
Streams picture. Oh, they're going crazy.
I think we ain't heard.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's the wrong one.
Wrong with her, Chaz. He talking about who again? This Lil Durk.
Although academics warned everybody about how most rappers have been siding with Youngboy now since Durk is in prison.
So I'm in the dressing room, and we just talking about a bunch of. He's also telling me, and I will never say who. He's telling me all the rappers who was now hitting him up, and he kind of asked me, he's like, act. So what you think, man? Because I think he's thinking like, yo, should he forgive some of these, like, but all these rappers on it. You know what I mean? Like they're all like, yo, Youngboy, we love you, right? And I gave him the best advice, I think. I said, I didn't want to impart my thoughts on it because I don't know fully what he's been through and what he's thought. Because, he was down where nobody would upon him. So I said, whatever your heart feels about any of these or kind of doubling back or not, I want to do whatever, go with that.
But even NLE Chopper tried calling out Youngboy in a diss track, but academics said it wasn't working because he's going to need a real anthem to take down Youngboy.
Yo, NLE Chopper, bro. No more break dancing, no more belly rolling and like that, gyrating. If you making a diss song at Kentrell Deshaun Golden, you gotta make some anthem with like some military tanks. That's how he's coming. Tell you.
Chopper's songs flopped so bad that another rapper told him to quit it.
Everybody see Youngboy ain't mess with nobody. The boy doing his thing, standing his own lane. And yeah, I love it. I love it. I can feel him every time he drop a song. But NLE Chopper, instead of him doing his own thing, he said, you know what, I'm gonna attack this man, I'm gonna mess with him. That's how poor in the street think. Instead of just letting me continue to move with my life, cause I ain't mess with nobody. I ain't out here trying to portray a street image or nothing like that. I'm just.
However, Youngboy didn't like that Shiesty was sticking with Durk, so he got one of Shiesty's fellow inmates to speak on what he was like in prison. With it reported, Memphis Man claimed Shiesty wasn't standing on business in prison, alleging that inmates made him stand up to eat.
Jig got the cow, man, so in the feds, man, apparently non-affiliate or whatever, man, any it is not gang related at all. Running up under no car, gotta stand up while they eat. Hey man, you was in that mall standing up while you were eating. When they bump down on you, they ask you, is you under the 5 or is you a rapper? You said a rapper. I got facts about these, man. Hey, man, I'm on this, man. You know what I'm talking about, man? Cause why, hold on, man. You ain't stand up? You ain't sit down? When it was time to stand on business? So you let basically you, man, made you stand up and eat your food. I thought you supposed to sit down and eat. Man, you got the internet food, man. And in jail, man.
As Shiesty was exposed for being bossed around on the inside, but days later, the Memphis OG went back on his words.
Man, I just found out, man, you know, hey, man, I was off the medication, man. I'm so up, bro. I'm just institutionalized. I'm a convict. I didn't even know this little cousin the whole time. Los. Damn, Lo, why you ain't tell me Pooh Shiesty was our little cousin, bro? Damn, Pooh. We got the same line, man. My name Williams, too, man. G. Williams, man. You know what I'm saying? Janero Williams, man. Hey, man, we got the same last name, man. Damn, Pooh, man. Damn, nephew. Could call me, man. I'm on the medication, man. You know, I'm off the meds, man. You know what I'm talking about, man. The bitch supposed had one that got my medication, man. You know, big run off, man. Didn't bring my meds when she supposed went to got my food, man. You know, long story short, man, I got my medicine now, man. Goddamn, tap in with me, man.
However, some people think Shiesty may have sent people to pressure him to stop talking. Although DJ Academics warned Shiesty that YoungBoy isn't someone he should mess with because he's the only guy who can sell out tours for 70 million, but still deal with you in the street.
He's probably the only rapper that gets to the level of, yo, he's doing an arena. He just came off a $75 million tour. It grossed $75 million. Yet we still believe that he's totally like ready to. Usually it's one or the other. If we really think that you're the crash out, you're not going on tour to do an arena. We usually think you're who goes to, like, you know, you get 1 or 2 shows because you're really living like that. He's the only person that I think maintained the image that he might today, but he's selling out a stadium tomorrow.
However, new information came out which suggests YoungBoy might have taken a plea deal. It was announced. Famous Richard says YoungBoy is working with the feds, which came from an Instagram post reading, YoungBoy is telling, this is his 3rd time getting released from the feds within 4 years on all new charges. You can't do 10 months of a 23-month sentence. My first offer was 5 years for a firearm that the police put on me. YoungBoy's definitely police. He probably the reason Durk is locked up.
That is.
Attached to that video was also a tweet that read, honestly, I kind of believe it too. The timing, the energy, the way things are playing out, it's all looking a little too convenient. Wouldn't be the first time someone played both sides. In this game, you never really know who's working with who. Even YoungBoy in court was weird because his fans hacked into the room to tell the judge to free him.
Free YB, man. Free YB.
Everyone needs to stay muted. Okay.
Free YB.
All right. Mr. Golden's case has already been called. He's done with court today. For those of you interested, everyone keep yourselves muted.
Free YB. Free YB.
Free YB.
Shortly after, YoungBoy came in with a smile on his face because he had heard what just happened. This got some fans to believe that his court vibe was relaxed because he was working with the feds. Although people are also digging up dirt on Shiesty because they're claiming he snitched too. With it reported, Whack 100 claims Shiesty is not solid and told to get out early.
So what? You trying to say that Big Brr ain't solid?
And throughout the day, as you see, look, you see what they've been sending me. You see that throughout the day they sending me the. But they sending the documents, the PDF, the paperwork, they circling, telling me what they see. You see it, bro. Like, you look, you see it.
Yo, what? These rappers gotta hate you, bro. I ain't gonna lie. They hate me too, but they gotta hate you differently. Like,
I mean, bro, listen, this ain't even my, I mean, listen, bro, at the end of the day, come tomorrow on the other side of the clubhouse. They're gonna pull me in that room, and they're gonna present this. I gotta
Can't you run interference like kind of what you try to do with Thug? run a little bit of interference.
One of the main reasons for this is because he was reportedly caught playing games for most his sentence.
But salute to Pooh Shiesty, who looked like he's absolutely chilling in jail. My boy got a little Richard Melly, you know what I mean? Got the haircut all right, you know what I mean?
They be playing Fortnite Mobile.
In jail? Oh, he got the Timbs on. They look fresh as well. Yo, this so chilling in prison. He got 2 watches. Like, you know what I mean? Like 2 watches, not even 1.
Although Shiesty's best friend Big 30 came to his defense and said that Shiesty would never snitch.
Oh, my mama, if you see some paperwork, my mama, I do whatever y'all tell me to do. Cause my eyebrows, mustache, hair, I throw my chains in the river and jump in and if Shiesty snitch. Go home, take one to the. I ain't got no more.
This got people to look into Shiesty's entire case and read over the court files from it, as it started with how Shiesty and his boy created a plan to rob sneakers and extracurricular items off a seller.
The barrage of sending 2 people to the hospital, and it lands a rapper in jail. 7 Sheldon Fox with the exclusive.
Police and prosecutors say Pooh Shiesty was part of the group that ended up in this parking lot that October afternoon where the flew, and it happened right across the street from the police department and town hall here in Bay Harbor Islands.
Shiesty arrived to the scene in a green McLaren, and the sellers came shortly after. They gave Shiesty the shoes to do a legit check on them, but while he did that, he negotiated the price of the goods. But tensions quickly escalated after the seller wouldn't budge. It eventually turned into Shiesty pulling out his firearm from his waistband and using it towards the 2 sellers. They tried to run away and duck behind their car, but were too late, as one was hit in the hip and the other got hit in the backside. Shiesty's friend grabbed the goods and threw them into the McLaren while jumping in the passenger seat, and Shiesty got in the driver's seat to take off. Although while Shiesty pulled out of the parking lot, he didn't realize that his Louis Vuitton bag with $40,000 dropped out of the car door pocket when he got in, which would later be the reason why Shiesty was found guilty. However, Shiesty continued his getaway and made it to the closest Miami airport before renting a private jet and taking off.
The town of Bay Harbor Island says you're wanted with it. He's also charged with robbery, battery in their affidavit, saying the 2 left the state in a private jet.
Shiesty was booked into jail but got bonded out for 30 grand, but it wasn't of much use because he returned to lockup just a few months later for the case.
Mr. Williams, you were arrested for pursuant to an arrest warrant. It was issued June 3rd. It's charging you. You have 2 attorneys here, or is it? I'm sorry, 2 attorneys in the state. Go ahead. You want to announce again?
Brad Cohen and Sam Zegny for the defendant.
Have you had a chance to review?
Yes, Judge, we have.
By the end of the court proceedings, it was reported Shiesty sentenced to 63 months in prison. He was facing 8 years. But after Shiesty was locked up for only a year, everyone was surprised when academics said he'd be out in another year or 2.
And I think he's coming home like next year, maybe the year after. However, it looked like he's, taking responsibility of whatever happened and doing his time, not crying, clearly trying to let people know he's straight. And I do think when he comes back out, granted, as long as it's not like too far from now, if he comes back in a year, he's good. I still think even within 2 years.
Although the funny thing to learn about Shiesty is that he's apparently committed crimes like this his entire life. He was just never caught because he had no fame.
Yeah, I mean, look, Pooh Shiesty was probably the biggest artist that he signed in recent memory. But Pooh Shiesty had a history of crimes before he ever signed to Gucci. It ain't like, he was like a school kid and Gucci suddenly put him in a bad direction. No, he was already doing it. Gucci wasn't around when he was doing all the crazy shit that got him locked up for. It just is what it is.
Pooh Shiesty's in prison right now for somebody in the ass with a go while sitting inside of a McLaren.
Yeah.
Some Grand Theft Auto.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's who he was before that. So it's like, that ain't a surprise. And Gucci ain't gonna tell you like he can't just change who you are as a person. So it's like, but people come up with the conspiracy theories and the life insurance. whatever.
But with many people wondering how Shiesty got out so fast on very serious charges, they got suspicious of him snitching, as it's important to note he made a proffer deal with the feds. A proffer is when someone gives detailed information to the feds about the case in exchange for a reduced sentence. So technically, he cooperated with the feds, but he only gave up information on himself to save him some time in prison. But they made Shiesty admit the mistakes he made from the crime, as his first mistake was doing the crime across the street from a police station, considering the cameras that captured the crime are owned by the station. But his second problem was the Louis Vuitton bag, because the feds used the bills inside the bag and matched the serial numbers off of them to match with other pictures of Shiesty flexing money, which proves he was the owner of the bag. But the last piece of evidence and clear mistake Shiesty made was posting a selfie of himself with the green car on Instagram around the time he did the crime. He did a whole photo shoot with the car, and it makes it look like Shiesty was wanting to be caught by the feds.